You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd Rage Radio, episode 205, and we'll have the title for you by the end of the show, I would imagine. And we are, of course, short-staffed, our normal host, per usual these days, but that's okay. We have Joe KW in the house.
What's up?
And we have Chris Pinkerton.
If you're nasty.
But only if. And we're going to kind of do, I think, there's not a whole lot of news because SDCC was this past weekend. So they've kind of drained the swamp, for lack of a better term.
We can talk about it for the 8th time.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about one thing for the 8th time. But there's not a whole lot to talk about news-wise. So we're going to have some toy conversations since we're all, part of the irregular collectors, and we haven't done a show for that in a long time. So we're just going to kind of do the Jay-Z and R. Kelly equivalent minus the pedophilia, which is best of both worlds. And
I just wanted to sing that hook, but I just can't do it, man.
Yeah, that's actually the R. Kelly one that I miss singing along to the most, I think, at the end.
For me, it's
the Biggie fucking you tonight.
I was gonna say Lovin', because I'm a classic man.
You are classic and classy.
Remember that song?
Classy.
Yeah.
So nerd weeks, Joe.
I saved us from a fire hazard.
Did you?
No, not a fire hazard, a fire, actually.
Mm.
So you know those little gas grills?
Mm-hmm.
Those little portable
Little
things?
teeny ones with a little canister.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we use them all the time. So
At
for
home?
hot pot. Yeah, for hot pot, like an Asian thing. Most of you probably know about it.
Hot pot.
Hot pot. So like this one I've been using is at least 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's been with me since forever. So I turned it on, it lit up, it's fine. Right? Krista was sitting there, pots on it, all of a sudden, poof, the whole...
Hold on one second. So I had to interrupt. I got a delivery. We're going to play multiple choice to those people out there. A, it's my Doctor Strange that went missing. B, it is Darth Maul. C, it was a written formal apology from UPS to me for losing my $250 purchase. Or D, it was something for my wife from Amazon. The answer was Darth Maul. Darth Maul.
I was gonna say socks that you had to sign for.
Darth Maul socks.
Darth Maul socks.
My apprentice has new socks.
Dude,
Far younger.
they're actually lightsaber socks, and you put your feet together. It's a double-sided lightsaber.
But you have to clap your feet.
Yes,
to make
exactly.
And the heels are the hilt. See?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with it. Anyway, I'm sorry. So you're
Yeah.
performing heroism.
The thing caught on fire was I guess it was leaking gas, more gas than it's supposed to.
No, what is this you're using exactly?
It's a little gas stove. It's like the size of this tile, and then you put a canister of a pressure.
It's like a hot plate,
butane.
right?
It's not electric. It's
that-
gas
yeah,
powered.
gas powered.
It's like propane or
Do you not-
butane.
Butane, yeah.
That
Do you
they
not have a stove?
No, it's hot pot, so you can put it in the middle of the table and you can eat.
Oh,
and
I get it. So it's like
eat
it's
and dunk
almost
at the same time. So
Okay.
it boils soup with
almost
stuff in
like
it.
a fondue.
fondue. Yeah, that's what I was gonna
yeah.
say. So
But better.
Got you. Got you. Please continue.
Dude, I've gone to several fondue places in my life. Never impressed. The idea of it.
Have you had our crab fondue?
That's different. That's
Yeah, that's
homemade
different.
though. That's,
Okay,
That's homemade crab fondue.
Okay.
But I've been to fondue restaurants and I've never been impressed.
We used to go to the melting pot.
Yeah, I've been to Hamilton.
back in Alabama.
Where you from? I went when I was in front row, Virginia, down south.
Where you're not from.
Down
Where I
south.
was from.
Down
You know-
south, showing no shame.
you know-
Thugs in the club, shaking that thing.
Deep in the dirty, Virginia.
Dude, it's the bottom of 66 where it ends.
Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
listen. That's okay. That's the South for sure.
That is the south.
Shout out to Josh Fisher. He definitely lives in the South. He lives.
But the idea of fondue sounds great.
so I enjoy the melting pot. I enjoy that experience.
Of course you would.
I
Why?
like it.
Because I'm white?
I like it culturally. I like to be exposed to different people and races and genders and philosophies and so on and so forth. You know?
America. That's what we call it.
America, the melting pot.
All right, Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But no man is an island, of course.
So the thing is actually... well, never mind. So, like, the little thing was on fire. The paper towel caught on fire. I'm surprised Chris didn't get singed.
Oh, really?
So...
Well, you better be glad you don't have any body hair to burn off.
Exactly.
Well, that's actually what happened. He's just not.
So I told her to back up, and
You're like, I'm on it.
yeah, I stuck my hand in there to turn it off.
You check that door for heat, Tim?
I turned it, I turned it off. Like it's two knobs, one to like pop the canister in, and one to get the gas going. I turned the gas off, it still went. I popped the canister off, and it's still on fire. So the canister must have been leaking. So I was like, okay, this shit is gonna blow up in my new house. So I ran and grabbed some tongue and flipped the can out of there, and then fire went out.
Where did you flip it to?
Just off under the tile,
Oh, okay.
on the granite tabletop.
Wow. The dude, I was there, I would have been like, that's my brother, God damn it.
I mean,
I would have dropped every backdraft reference. I'd be like, I've just been saving them all for this moment.
it's the first time I had to use any kind of fire extinguishing knowledge. I was like, well, this gas, I just gotta get rid of the source. I thought of all this stuff and did the thing, and then afterwards realized I was thinking all that stuff. Because like at first I tried to blow on it to clear the gas, but it was still going. I was like, the gas must be still leaking from the canister. That's me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
My dad used to say there was a fire triangle, and as it's made up of fuel, heat, and oxygen.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is remove one of the pieces of the triangle,
Yeah.
and the fire will go out. This is what my dad used to tell me when I was a kid.
And he was a fireman.
And he was a fireman.
Yeah. And Chris was like, good thing you were here because it would have just blown up if it was just hurt you. But you didn't know what to do.
Tragedy in new markets. This week.
all
I
over,
remember now, I
all
can
over a hot pot.
Yeah. Dude, that shit was crazy.
I-
And then you know what we ended up doing? We put this hot pot on the fucking regular stove, and then we just
Set
pull up
it
two
in.
stools up to it and just fucking set it up the stove.
My only time I've ever had anything like that happen, I was maybe fourth grade. My parents were building their house, and we were living in a house trailer at the time, like on the property. You know?
House trailer, you say? Down in Alabama, where you from?
See, I knew where this was going.
You know,
At least we had the underpinning.
a mobile home without wheels is just a home.
You're right. But hey, this one was very temporary. This was set up. I mean, literally, my parents bought the trailer. We lived in the trailer while they were building the house because my dad built his house himself, nights and weekends and vacation.
hardcore.
And yeah, and once the house was done, they sold the trailer and away it went. But I put some Pop-Tarts in the toaster, and I don't really know what happened, but the toaster caught on fire, and it was underneath the cabinet, so the cabinet caught on fire.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. It got put out, but to this day, if I'm using a toaster, it is definitely out clear of. Like I have my wife and kids. I'm like, hey, you got to pull that shit out. And I think one of the kids is like, why? I'm like, because I almost burnt down a house trailer one time. That's why.
Yeah, I'm on my wife about that shit. Like to pull the toaster out to use it because it's the same thing, right? Like you have the oxygen and now you have the heat, so it only takes a little bit of fuel to like it's always that triangle. As my dad does, it's a valuable lesson I learned.
Yeah. Any other heroism this week, John?
No, once in a lifetime.
Hopefully.
I mean that shit. It was scary, man.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, dinner, and was grabbing plates and fucking thing. The fucking counter with the fire was hitting the lights. It was that's how it was.
The only time I had a close fire experience in my house was my wife was cooking something in the oven and something fell down and
Oh shit!
and it lit off inside the oven and it caused an oven fire and I saw smoke like puffing out of it and I was like, oh no. So like I opened it up a little bit and I was like, oh god, it's on fire. I was like, so I closed the oven and the oven is like it's a metal box, so like you're fine, as long as it's in the oven. So like I filled up a whole thing of water. I had that all the time in the world, and then just opened it up and dumped it in there. And I said, look, I'm going to open this up. You grab the food. Like,
well, that was my next question: is did you order pizza that night?
No. I was like, you grab the food, and I'm going to throw the water on this thing.
On the oven? Isn't it electrical?
This was back in my townhouse, so I couldn't even tell you.
It would have been an electric oven, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would imagine it was still.
So if you turn it off, I would imagine you'd turn it off.
Yeah, it had shit all down in the bottom of it. So like, it's just like my wife hadn't cleaned it, and and neither had I.
Yeah.
You know, take a little bit of responsibility myself.
I think I've cleaned an oven once in my life, maybe.
Yeah,
I cleaned it when I have this on my house. That's when I cleaned that shit.
Self-cleaning ovens, man. That's
I know,
not,
right?
That's not a good idea, though.
You know?
No.
Dude, you know I'm an idiot. I just realized this. There's a fire extinguisher on every floor in my house. I don't know if it came with the house or the lady bought it.
But we had I had to buy mine.
There's a little one. I've never had a fire extinguisher in my house in my life.
The old ABC.
But I just now realized I could have used that. Because I remember when I moved in, who the fuck has a fire extinguisher in the house? And I threw it in the closet.
It's pretty common. We have one in the kitchen, and in reality, I need to buy one for my workshop because the likelihood of me catching some shit on
you
fire.
You should come check out my workshop after we're done.
Yeah, we can do that.
I have one in the kitchen, and I have one out back for like when we do fire pits and stuff, just in case anything gets dumb.
Now I have to think about that shit.
Actually, we may have one. I think we do have one more because I know we do because Kelly, when we do like a fire at the house, Kelly will pull it out. So
see, now I'm kind of glad I have an electric stove instead.
Yeah,
I've just come over to your house for s'mores. Okay, so I've been working on 40K stuff again, which is great. My workshop's set up now. And watch stuff in the background, so I'm watching more stuff. I watched an episode, I think first or second episode of Batman animated series, and I realize now that's where you got your humor from. It was a Joker episode, like when he first showed up, and like I forgot that he just throws out one-liner dad jokes all the time. Like Bobby loves Joker. It makes fucking perfect sense.
Hey, I'm gonna let you finish. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Joe, just real quick. So let's say you're signing some important documents at a fast food restaurant. What condiment do you think you'd use on the meal you're eating while you're signing these documents?
Ketchup, obviously.
No, you're going to use signature sauce. Actually developed that one myself.
While were you on important business?
While I was actually eating McDonald's with my kids yesterday.
Of course, a dad thing to do. Thinking dad joke while I'm doing dad shit.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. So.
And it's the best Batman thing there is to me. That's where my Batman love is.
I haven't watched it in a while.
And the fucking music was actually kicking. Like
because
jamming.
It's basically an interpretation of Elfman stuff from the '89 stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Elfman.
Because it was like Jokerman's Joker's theme kicked on and it had like a little beat to it.
Yeah. But like the general theme is almost a
which I love. That's my Batman.
Yeah.
Did Hamill do that voice the entire run?
I think so.
Okay.
It's fucking I just watched the first episode, so it was him.
Did they advertise that it was him? Because I don't think I knew that till like I was older.
Till I was an adult. Till I was a man.
The first episode was Man-Bat, right?
Yes. Second episode was the Joker one. But like for some reason this episode was switched.
I've never watched all of it. I've watched
and you know what I was thinking too?
And it gets better.
Yeah, I just similar to you, I got to rearrange my workspace so I can see the TV better while I'm working.
I listen to him. It's here, but like I'm not.
But mine's like I'm working here and the TV's here.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm gonna
turn it up.
Shout out to broken TVs. I have to buy myself a new one from a workshop. But sorry.
But no, it's great. No origin stories, no origins of the villain story, just fucking drops right in.
No. The Man-Bat was an origin story. Like isn't that an origin story for Man-Bat? How he becomes Man-Bat?
I guess, but there wasn't one for Joker.
No,
and there's not one for Batman.
No.
It's just him and Alfred right away. Batman was.
Yeah. But I think a lot of them do have, like a lot of the villains do have a word. Like I think Ivy has one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the world itself, like how we use the origins maybe. Like Batman, they just assume you know who Batman Alfred is, and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Batman. I think it was '89 Batman that kind of introduced that formula. You know, in a way of like you give the origin, you set the character up, you have you know what I mean, and then you get the villain origin simultaneously, and then you put them against each other. It's kind of their thing, I think.
And it's
you mean it's a formula?
Yeah, and I think it's. I mean, Marvel still does it to this day. Mm-hmm. You know, like Black Panther is that. You know, like same thing.
And seeing Bruce treat Alfred like an actual butler is weird. It's like, Alfred, draw me a bath. Well, that's wild. This grown man asking this other old ass grown man to draw him a bath. And there was an April's Fool episode, like, so Alfred drew a bath on a piece of paper.
Alfred, that crafty son of a bitch.
Dude, This show makes
It's good, though.
Makes you love Batman.
It still holds up, man.
Yeah, it does. I just
And
like
that
20, 30 years
all
old.
of them do. Like the Superman series holds up. The Justice League series
watch
holds
those.
up. They're good. Like they're all good.
Bobby, why did you not get into the figure line of the Batman?
They just.
You had a whole box of them. Man.
You could have struck a deal for those after all was said. and
Yeah,
done.
but they just they don't do it for me.
And you just enjoy ruining other people's enjoyment by keeping stuff too long.
Yeah. Okay. And also,
like books.
Oh yeah,
for
like you know,
fuck's sake.
like
It's two of us here and one of you today.
you know,
like the Coruscant Nights trilogy.
yeah, it's gonna be a while on that one.
I know.
I told you when you dropped it off.
2 years ago.
I dropped my shit off 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he read one of them.
I got one of them done.
Yep.
And actually,
The important one, really.
and actually, I got 2 of these done.
Yeah, you got
But I read them out of order.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I was gonna say that like I'm also like I'm not crazy about the character designs
Of
Oh really?
of the animated series stuff.
You don't like that style of the animation?
No,
style?
like they all
the triangle.
Yeah, they all look like Starscream from Transformers, the live action movie.
It's cool in a cartoon, but as figures, they're
Yes,
yeah, I
yes,
Just
yes.
every time Bobby watches, it's like, man, I really want some Doritos.
But yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you that Mondo 1/6,
yeah,
it has my interest.
yeah. They're doing some interesting things.
Yeah,
I don't care for all of it, but they're doing some.
nor
interesting
I.
things.
But I'm not mad at any of it.
Well, since Pinkerton is here, I watched a few. I've been watching anime, obviously, but I
Yeah.
watched a couple starting a few new ones.
Okay.
So I'm catching up on Food Wars.
Well, let me write these down to relay to the people in my household that watch anime.
Okay, if you like food and you like anime,
What's it called?
Food Wars. They actually go like what?
This sounds terrible.
I'm envisioning the
I'm
food
talking,
the
I'm
food fighters
talking
toys.
to Pinkerton here, right?
Okay, I'm listening intently now.
So, like, it's about this kid whose father was a great chef, put him into this serious chef school,
Okay,
and then they learn about cooking. He's already real good.
is it on Hulu?
Yes. it
Okay,
is.
I saw that.
There's 2
Yeah.
episodes of it dubbed, 2 seasons of it dubbed. 3rd season is already out, but it's going to be dubbed later this year, and then
It's so
4th
far. It's
season's coming out.
Is it subbed currently?
It's subbed.
Okay.
So when you, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming when
It
you
makes you hungry.
when you
Team
watch
Sopranos makes me hungry.
what does
Oh.
Sopranos.
Always
Oh,
eating pasta.
absolutely.
It's painful. That's a painful show to watch.
Man, I got. I'm assuming when you watch stuff like while you're working, you watch the dub because you don't.
Yeah. I have to listen. I hardly watch. I glance at once in a while just to see what people look like and shit. But like generally, I'm just listening.
I saw this funny meme the other day. It was a picture of a busty woman with a low cut shirt on, and there was a tag.
Don't say.
There was a tagline above her head that says the actual film I'm watching, and then right above her boobs it said the subtitles.
Yep. Nailed it.
Yeah, I thought that
You
was
learn to
pretty fun.
read real fast if you watch enough anime.
Yeah, I had that. I've had that trouble with like the few sub movies I have. Like I mean different genre obviously, but like Passion of the
Passion of
Christ.
Christ. That was the one that
yeah,
came to mind right
like
away.
Schindler's List. That's a lot of subs
Yeah,
Versus dub.
versus a dub, of course.
Would you want a dub? Would you want a dub of Passion of the Christ or Schindler's List?
Yes. By the Batman animated series cast.
yes, yes, yes.
I want Mark Hamill to play Jesus.
Oh, I thought you wanted to do the devil.
No, it's too easy.
You're just gonna leave me hanging here all day?
Sorry.
I want Tim Drake to do the devil.
So, Food Wars, if you're interested in food.
Okay, Food Wars.
I'll make you hungry. They go through a lot of kind of different cuisines and I'm not a chef or a cook myself, but I watched it with Chris. She's oh yeah, those are legit cooking techniques and
Really?
cutting techniques.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I started. How much are the dumbbells that you lift weigh?
That's the name of this.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put how much
and
dumbbells.
it's
I will find it.
four episodes in. It's on Funimation dubbed, or you can pirate it sub.
So they we apparently we have a Crunchyroll subscription.
Oh,
Yeah, I
makes sense that you would. You don't even know.
I don't watch anything on there. I mean,
It's-
they watch JoJo.
I won't even
and-
get an egg roll subscription.
dude. If if you would, if I could do that, and like every month you send me different egg rolls, and like they're like they come like Postmates brings them or some shit.
I like the General's chicken. I can get down with that.
That's not really real Chinese food.
But I like it.
I like General Style. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be an entrepreneur and start this egg roll business.
Do different kinds of egg rolls.
I'll tell you what else is $1 million idea: ice cream delivery.
Breakfast delivery. Who the fuck delivers breakfast?
Isn't it just the ice cream truck, bruh?
Yeah, but it's not the same.
So DoorDash.
It's like trash, good humor, like you know what I mean, like which can hit the spot.
Like,
but I mean,
gelato. You're talking about like some fancy shit.
yeah, or like some proper scoops, like Ben and Jerry's or whatever, like something like that, where like or Cold Stone or something like that, where it's like
the place next to the fucking theater. That's what.
Like like you eat it
cream.
like at night, you like eat a dinner or something, and you're like, oh man, I could go for some ice cream. I don't want to go out and fucking drive to the ice cream spot. You like just dial up the ice cream and en route.
So DoorDash is now available in the town. I just
What about Gorbash?
That's the name of the guy who brought me my food.
That's the name of the dragon from Flight of Dragons.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What do you know about the Flight of Dragons, bro?
I know that I watched it once.
It's awesome. It's great.
Of all the dragon animated movies I watched that week, it was one of them.
James Earl Jones, dude.
But yeah, DoorDash actually is in my town now, which is actually interesting. Gives us a whole lot more options to be fat. So
Yeah.
The how much your dumbbells weigh anime it actually gives a legit workout advice. All the nutritional stuff and all of the exercise they explain on the show are legit.
So is
I can
that
confirm.
is that a new trend in anime? Is like, let's use real information and spread the joy of cooking or the joy of weightlifting.
If by new you mean by from the 80s, yes.
These are old shows?
No, these are new shows, but like anime does fucking everything. There's baseball anime, there's fucking tennis anime, there's everything anime. I think, like, you know how they are. They get passionate over there in Japan. Like, you can find one thing, you like, fucking... Do you see the guy who can fucking throw skip a rock, like all the way across the lake?
Like their xenophobia. Like they're
do that.
super passionate about their xenophobia.
Very. Japanese only.
Can you guys skip a rock pretty well? Like,
Dude,
I'm not bad at
Did
it.
you see the fucking... I'll pull it up later. This guy skips a rock like a fucking mile.
Well, it was a cartoon, right?
No, in real life.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like...
I was like, well, I could draw a motherfucker doing it 2 million times.
He probably been doing it his entire life. I'm
pretty
just saying
decent
people
at it.
get passionate about
Right.
one fucking thing.
Right.
Like the jump rope people I saw at the Arnold.
Dude, did you want to talk about that fire at all over there? Because we didn't talk about it. We meant to talk about it.
Yeah, at the anime studio.
what happened now? I guess I know.
It's a fucking crazy
This happened.
It was an arsonist, wasn't it?
arson. Yeah, it was
Oh shit! Yeah, this happened a while back though, right?
2 weeks. A
2
week
weeks
ago.
ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
But like 70-something people worked there. Like 33 of them died.
It's crazy. Was it disgruntled
Holy
employee or was it
No, it's just
competitor studio? Fucking Disney.
Doom, 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 doom. They sent Goofy in there. Gorsh.
dude, people are pissed right now. I'm telling you.
Hope your sprinklers are up to code.
Hey, Minnie, did you bring the propane?
I mean, it was terrible. I'm not making fun of the dead or anything, but
You don't want people to hear that.
no, I mean it sucks. I mean, so that's
I
what
mean, it's a big studio. They made quite a few like big name things, and like they've had to cancel things that are upcoming because they lost all the paper and electronic. They lost all the
but
records.
fuck that, just the loss of life.
Yeah,
and,
and I'm just everything. Everything's a loss.
yeah.
Like and
And they don't have any motivations from the arsonist as to how.
he's
and
like
why
a fucking weirdo shut-in guy who's fucking depressed and
He was probably a big fan.
Or they canceled
Maybe.
one. They canceled his show.
I
or
wonder,
something.
dude. I wouldn't be surprised.
And it's like what's Milton in the Office Space?
he's one of those guys.
Right.
I
Burn
was-
down the
Like
building.
they showed a picture
Right.
of him. He looks like
Say
Milton.
no salt on my Mai Tai. No salt.
I saw pictures of them.
But he'll probably get executed.
Well, I was because you
They do
know,
executions over there.
like you've seen those viral videos, those Japanese guys that like doing fire suppression stuff, like where they're running around with ladders and
Yeah.
climbing, doing
Yeah.
tricks. I'm like, where's all that fancy shit?
I mean, they were all there, but I guess
In that video, it was
Wasn't fast enough.
It went a whole bunch of the fancy tricks. When the circus didn't come to town that day.
yeah.
It looks like I mean, it's a huge loss.
I mean,
though.
it's yeah.
I mean,
it's
that's
arson.
the type of loss where it's like you got to question whether or not they're going to be able to recover. Like,
I don't know.
right?
But they have it's a fucking tragedy. And I don't know how 33 out of 70 people died. I don't know if like the arson did something to block the entrances. Who
Yeah,
fucking
that's
knows?
crazy. I mean, 50% loss. That's insane.
I think
Yeah.
he was hurt himself too. I'm not sure.
At least they got him.
Yeah, at least they got him.
Yeah.
But like,
Pat. Wow. Was that Donald Duck?
Yeah, I can't do.
Oh, there it
I
goes.
can't do the speech.
and speak at the same time.
Yeah,
It's hard to do.
I've found that like people either can or cannot. Like, there's nobody that does it. All right.
Yeah.
It's either that shit is trash or that shit is money.
That is so funny you brought that because I actually watched the Donald Duck cartoon yesterday, just wildly out of the blue.
Did you ever hear that like thing? It was on the like I think it's a local radio show here, like Mark and Lopez or whatever. What is it? It's like not Hot 97, like 97, 98 Rock.
You're looking at us like we listen to.
I used to like 10 years ago.
Radio.
I used to listen to all that.
They had like a Donald Duck getting a blowjob.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
I might have heard.
I remember
that before.
Yeah.
They did one with Darth Vader too, where he's like, "Roll my planets around in a circle."
Yes.
But yeah, I'll look it up.
So
That's funny.
yeah, this anime, if people want to watch it, it's legit. It's like the protagonist is like a high school girl.
Is this the weightlifting one?
Yeah, who's like getting a little bit out of shape and she wants to lose weight. She's the relatable one to whoever's watching because like most people have a hard time losing weight. Most people don't know what to do with working out and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
Let's play it. It's so good. And I don't think you can copyright it, so we should be all right.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Oh my God, it feels so good. Oh yeah. Oh, slow down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Oh my God. Oh yeah. Play with my balls. Play with my balls. Oh, that feels so good. Yeah, just roll them around in a circle. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I've heard that. That made the rounds pretty hardcore. I think that might have been back like
I think it was Kirk, Mark, and Lopez was the name of the show.
So it was from Baltimore.
I think so. I could be wrong.
Rat infested Baltimore.
Rat infested. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's good times.
But it like what's their famous kind of what's their claim to fame? The studio like what's their Mickey Mouse
on Netflix? They have Violet Evergarden. K-On! Is a big idol show. Dragon Maid was huge. Which I love also. Those are
the big three.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That I can think of other. They've done other stuff from like way back, but those are the three that I've watched off the top of my head.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. And then the lifting show is good for. I think anyone who's into anime and want to get in shape should watch it because they'll get motivated and get taught something.
I'll make a promise to you. I will do my best to watch myself at least one episode of both of those, and we'll discuss it next week.
Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
Here's the last
Here it
one.
comes.
It's on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
I just started today.
There's another show.
This last one.
Okay.
I started today.
Well,
I'm
right
like
into it.
fucking 4 or 5 episodes in since this morning because I was working on stuff.
Uh-huh.
Backstreet Girls. It's these Yakuza dudes who fucked up and the boss made him have a sex change into so like Japanese idol is a huge thing. Like
I don't know what that
girl groups. They're a huge thing in Japan.
Oh yeah, like pop, like
Exactly.
almost like K-pop.
So like the boss made him turn into idols and then fucking hilarity ensues.
Because they're still trying to do gangster shit, but they're
In the minds they're fucking gangsters, but they look
Right.
like fucking hot chicks.
more like
And
wanksters, right? All right.
yeah.
There's a double entendre
Yes.
joke in there. Okay, making sure.
But yeah, it's fucking hilarious so far.
Damn, homie.
I mean, I've scrolled past it many times. It's been on my list, but today I was like, I ran out of stuff to watch. Let me try it because it sounds like an interesting concept, but it's actually really fucking funny.
I just
That's why I like anime, man. Any fucking thing goes.
yeah. I'll
You
probably
can explore any concept.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'll turn on the TV. I mean, I'll probably spend the past 3 days, an hour and a half, just trying to figure out what to watch, and it's so frustrating. I mean, to the point where I'm like,
Just watch some anime, bro. You got Crunchyroll.
I don't even know anything about that.
Well, you got 3 things. Just Backstreet Girls on dub is fucking. So like the speaking voices are female voices, but like the internal monologue is still the dude voices.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check that out
Like,
for
and
sure.
they're fucking pissed because like they're getting groped on and shit. And then
Message.
I'm turning myself on and like in my mirror and they're like, there's the 3 of them. They're like the Yakuza. There's like a squad in the Yakuza. So like they're bros, but like now they're looking at each other like they're hot chicks.
My mind is telling me no.
Yeah.
But no,
Boy, oh boy.
and it's got a lot of brotherly thing that you would like.
Oh, yeah.
They like really get each other's back and shit.
Like really good.
Yeah, really get in there. The stuff that you're really into.
Like back to back.
Oh man.
And Annihilation. I watched that movie.
Mortal Kombat.
No, I should though.
The one with
I've only watched that one once.
the one with Padme in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, how was that?
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was a cool concept, and
is a cool
and
concept.
like I couldn't get the fucking sound out my head for a day.
Which one?
At the end, the techno. No, the techno alien.
I thought we were on
I don't
Mortal Kombat
remember. I
now.
don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was a
It's
cool
really cool.
concept. It didn't do well enough for them to ever make another one.
I don't think they need to. It's a self-contained story, to me anyway.
What about you, Chris?
So, I've been busy, but not nearly as busy.
Yeah, you're a busy guy.
I did manage to go see the Spider-Man Far From Home.
We should have a conversation about that today.
Yes.
We should. I went to that new theater I talked to you about in Westminster. It's an old mall theater. It's I guess they missed the stadium seating trend. So there's it's slanted floor.
Really?
But there are I had plenty of room in this recliner still, and the legs. It's like electric. The legs come up, the seat lays back, and there's a ton of room in front of you, so you don't have to worry about bumping anybody in front of you. And it was I think it was like $11 a ticket.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and it's a smaller theater, but the picture was great. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was cool.
How do you like the end cameo?
Well,
can we? Is it spoiler? Can we just spoil stuff now?
Let's get into it.
Okay. 3,
So
2.
Yeah. No, this is too many weeks.
Yeah, listen, this is going to be at the Dollar Theater next week. If you have
what is the rule? What's the amount of weeks?
3 weeks.
I was going to say 2.
So 2 weeks, you can spoil stuff. Because Endgame was not okay after 2 weeks because people still didn't get a chance to watch it.
That's not my problem.
I still know people who haven't seen Endgame.
So that doesn't count now. Because people wanted to see it, didn't have an opportunity to see it yet.
Right, but 2 weeks, you got time at 2 weeks. So you gave it a 7.5.
I did.
Me too.
And I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fair scoring of that film. Like, it doesn't seem
7.3.
It doesn't seem Marvel weighted to me. Like with this typical Marvel trend I've been seeing recently with you guys, it doesn't.
Recent. I don't know about what you're talking about. Recent, but 10 years.
Listen. I watch to this day Suicide Squad DC movie. I fucking love it. I think it's great.
That's crazy.
It's the funnest romp of all romps.
It's not.
It's not good.
And I like a fun romp, and I don't even like that movie.
I like the way it's filmed. I like the way it's edited.
I like the way it's filmed. I think it's shot well.
I love stuff like that.
But I think it would have been better had they just she killed him and walked out of the room. I say it every week, but I think that would.
Listen, I don't disagree with you, but I don't know. I enjoy it.
I'd have been happy.
But
I tell you, the only thing, the saving grace for that film, I don't want to make the Suicide Squad conversation, but that where you get to see Harley's like fantasy of like her and Joker having this like super like 50s normal life, like that's awesome to me.
That was cool. That was a cool spot.
Spider-Man,
sorry.
Yeah, Spider-Man. So that's not a crazy great score for this movie.
It's a good
for a movie.
For a movie? You don't think it's a 7.58 is like a good score?
So I don't think it's a crazy great score.
I'll give you
I think it's a fair. That's fair. That's a fair. That's a fairly.
To me, it's a B plus.
No, it's exactly a C minus.
Yeah, 75. It's a C minus.
Well, and we're averaging to 73, right?
True.
So like that's a C minus.
That's not okay. I guess I just rate things differently in my head.
But I mean, like if it's
7.5 to me, it's like a B plus.
Where'd you go to school, Joe? You're supposed to be good with these numbers, and I feel like I got the edge on you on this one. I'm not sure how it happened
because I'm not doing it on like 100% scale.
What scale are you doing it on?
Calculation.
Just how good something is.
I feel like you should.
It's not like 75. I don't know.
Why don't you give it an 83?
8.3.
No, 8.3.
You raise yours to an 8.3. I raise mine to an 8.5.
If we're doing it on that scale, I'd give it an 85%.
Well,
so
okay,
hang on.
What the fuck?
Do you see the problem here, Joe?
No, I don't.
Okay, so hang on. No, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna add a 0 to that 10, so it's 1 out of 100. Now, what do you give it?
But it's a different scale.
No,
I give it an 85.
So you're giving it an 8.5.
85. I guess is that how that works?
Yeah. Joe, we shouldn't be the ones to explain this to you.
Are you?
Because to me, it's not a academic grading scale to me. When it comes to like out of 1 to 10,
but I mean the academic grading scale isn't an
because a 5.
It's not specific.
No,
to
you know
academia.
why? You know why? When you give a movie a 5, it doesn't fail.
To me, it does.
When I give a movie a 5, it's like it's average. It's okay. A 5 is.
I mean, I can see what you're saying, but you did say you gave it it's
Sure.
like a B minus or whatever, and it's a 73. So,
but because I don't make it a
we're way
I make
off
it.
the track.
I make it a 5 is a C. A 5 is a passing average grade out of 10. It's right in the middle. That's how I see it. Because that's a huge. You tell me 1 to 7 is bad and only 7 to 10 is
just
good.
like a 50%
That's
out of 100.
But hang on, but you're saying
it's not a 50%.
You're saying
though.
it's
not a percent.
But I mean,
it's a weighted 10 that you're judging it off of. Are you saying
I'm judging? No, it's not
hang
even
on,
weighted.
hang
Five
the craziest fucking conversation I've ever been a part of.
5 is right in the middle. It's average.
So is 50.
But 50 is a failing grade in academia.
Right.
I think
It's not average. C is an average.
Academia is your problem here.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So if we were to equate the whole number to a bell curve, then 50% even in academic, because in academics we're saying 60% is passing.
What's that bell curve smell
Not
like?
in college. In college, D's not passing.
Well, right, but I'm saying like if we're just, but instead of saying that, okay, I got what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
You know where I'm coming from.
Yes,
I'm not crazy.
Now I understand what you're saying.
So
I thought you were crazy for a minute. I thought you were
maybe
crazy.
I've been wrong in grading this whole. We've been talking the same language this entire fucking time.
Right, but
my entire life.
To me, see, like like even if I give something a 7, it's good enough.
See, that's for 5 is good enough for me.
Okay.
So we've been talking.
Yeah, we've been talking
all those times we've been grading shit.
Yeah, we've been talking different.
Listeners, please email us or something. Tell me if I'm fucking crazy or like how you rate stuff.
We need to find out what episode Joe came on at, and then we need all of his scores up to this moment, and then we need everybody to average those.
A couple people reached out and said they'd be willing to help. We need you to do this.
Because when you see a rating like 4 out of 5, it's fucking great. 4 stars out of 5.
Right.
But like according
that's
to you,
a 90.
it's not,
then, but that's a
no,
90.
it's not. It's an 80.
4.5?
4 out of 5.
Oh, I thought you said 4.5.
But a 4 out of 5 is good. It's like considered good.
Okay,
But
all right. I'm with you. I got you. I at least understand where you're coming from.
So out of a percent scale, I'll give it an 85%.
Okay,
So
all right.
I'll give you
Out of a percent,
Dude, I'm really fucking thrown off now. I'm seriously thrown off.
out of a percent scale related directly to education, you would give it an 85.
Yeah,
but if it was a percent scale that was just the same as anything, then you'd still give it a 73.
75.
Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with 5 being average.
Correct.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm on board. I understand.
I have a headache.
The difference here is where the school system decides you pass or fail. I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Okay, cool. So let's move on. It's not amazing or spectacular though, this film.
Is it web of?
I tried to think of as many as I could off the
Web
top of my head. So let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like.
So I'll tell you that the part of the 2.5 that I didn't give it is, and look, it's a high school based story. So I'm 42 years old, pretty long in the tooth, so to speak. And I don't know that it was made directly for me. I kind of felt like I'm watching something my kids should enjoy. Does that come across at all?
Do you have? I see that, and I see a lot of people our age end up have that issue, but. Can you not put yourself? Maybe high school is like a really memorable time for me. Like I can easily put myself back in those shoes.
Oh, yeah, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's almost like I wasn't the target audience. Like they were driving a younger demographic, which I guess we're all getting towards old and trash at this point. But
no, not me, but you guys.
Right. Well, you're gonna live.
I mean, look at me.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But
that little grill he had is trash and old.
Yeah, that was. You need to upgrade that there, Chief. Just get one gas burner installed in your house. Just one, just right in the middle of the bar.
Like he has.
I liked the. So let me lay this out first. I like the movie Iron Man 3 because I
like it too.
Okay, I like the character. I don't like
Suicide Squad.
That's also still fair.
Actually, the liking of Suicide Squad and the liking of Iron Man 3 does make sense to me.
But it
doesn't make sense to you for me. But like because they're both kind of like super stylistic.
Okay.
Noir isn't the right choice, but because the guy who did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang did Iron Man 3, and to me that comes across like where you almost have a villain say, "Yeah, see," that sort of shit. So and then Suicide Squad definitely has a stylistic tone to it with like the words and shit popping up on the screen, like almost like a Snatch or a Lock Stock,
right? And that's part of the reason I liked it.
Yeah, so that actually makes sense to me.
Saying that to say the switcheroo in that movie is "You'll never see me coming." It's actually Trevor, and Trevor's an actor. That whole bit. I liked that. I liked that. But I'm not a huge Mandarin fan. I don't really even know that much about the Mandarin.
He might be coming into my Asian hero story.
I heard that, and I'd be interested to see how they.
Yes, I heard that too.
How they tie that in. Anyways, I liked that part of that story.
I like that part. People hate it, but I thought it was a great twist.
I think
and 10 Magic Rings is too fucking. Now it's not 10 Magic Rings.
Okay, yes.
Back then,
yes, I agree.
Too much.
I agree, but I think that could have been then. You know what I mean? Like I think that could have. you say now it's too much because we've had things make those leaps of faith, right? I think that could have. I think
It
they were
was
in a
ramping
position
up.
to make a leap of faith there,
Right, but
I don't think
Iron-
they needed to go into rings. I don't think they needed to go that far.
The Iron Man movies were all. They were more grounded.
3 is not.
What do you mean?
You got
Like
superpowers.
the fire people. That's not grounded.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I forgot about that.
But
Anyway,
it's still like quote unquote science.
I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Iron Man 3. I'm just using that as a comparison.
Me neither.
to So the Mysterio character used, in my mind, it was a similar tactic as far as a switcheroo.
I
Is
like.
it?
I don't think it's a similar tactic, but I can see how you could say it's cut of the same cloth, where it's not the impression is not who he is, right?
But we know that.
Correct. But I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think that worked.
It worked. It was.
Yeah.
It was a great Marvel villain. It was
I-
a great Mysterio.
I love that he was doing it like with the mocap suit.
Yes,
Like, I love
and he was
all
just
that.
walking around in the mocap suit and the fishbowl with the displays.
Yeah, I like him. I think it's more of a Mysterio. I think you can make the argument it's more of a Mysterio movie than it is
It is.
a Spider-Man movie.
He didn't look anything like Rey Mysterio, and he didn't wear the mask at all. I was very confused. He didn't do any flips or anything.
You know the reference, no, the point of reference I got that it did a good job is because Krista doesn't know anything about Mysterio at all, and in the middle of the movie she's like, "What's his superpower? What's it that he's shooting out of?" I was like, "Oh, you don't know."
Right.
Well, just watch. I don't know much about Mysterio. He's very mysterious. Just watch.
Yeah, very
And
mysterious.
then-
You might say he's terribly mysterious.
And then she fucking loved it. So it's like from
Yeah.
a normie's point of view who doesn't know who Mysterio is, that shit works.
And I like how that's all tied to Stark, and that it's like
Yes.
still Stark's
Yep.
technology, still
Yep.
from the first movie,
yeah.
they got the
I'm-
guy.
I
So
like that a lot.
I like that they pulled like the guy that Ironmonger, whoever.
Yeah, was yelling at.
Yeah, he was yelling at him, and then there was a couple other people, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Who else are they going to show?" And then they started pointing out people, and they're like, "Could you not have just inserted them in a background somewhere where it looked like they were?"
I think we're taking it out of the movie. Like, when something runs on too long, then like, oh, come on, keep it. Because I was worried they're going to keep pointing out people because there's only people in there. Like, oh, this is going to drag on.
Yeah, but I thought that
Drag on.
I really
Bash.
I really
Oh, I was
enjoyed
thinking is it a rapper? Drag on.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude, check you out.
the opposite of H2O. Best album name ever. That was like I remember buying that album. I'm like, okay, all right, we're done with this. This phase of the rap industry is over.
It's another one of those true romance references for me. Oh, that's imaginative. I have more taste in my penis.
I really liked the way they they portrayed the character and the drones and all that.
And with the technology, the way they made how his illusions work it make fucking sense.
Yeah, it seemed somewhat grounded in reality the way they
I mean, it's
explained it all.
holograms and
We did
drones
all-
are fucking you up from behind.
We did call
That's a great fucking
a lot of that though
smart.
in advance. Like, and not to say that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it just means that I don't say it. Sometimes I say stuff like that. People are like, "But that's okay." I'm like, all right. Wait. I'm just saying that, like, I like it when like I still seem sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I was able to ascertain this
Yeah.
from the trailer.
Yeah, because we know who Mysterio is,
Right.
so we know what he's supposed to do in the comics. So it's like the only way he can do this and
Right.
deduce to
Right. It wasn't as fantastic as it seemed.
But it's great that it's not him; it's a team backing him as a frontman.
Correct. I like that too.
And at the end, it's questionable who is really in charge when the guy.
Yes.
I'm like, what? Because it's a mystery. Is he Mysterio?
So
Is he the true Mysterio running strings in the background?
let me talk to you about my negatives that I had of it.
Okay.
I still don't feel like this is really a Spider-Man movie. Like, I don't feel like I have had a Spider-Man movie from this universe yet.
Can you explain?
Yes.
Because it feels very it has a lot to do with Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
The first movie to me seems like a Spider-Man Iron Man movie.
Yes.
And this movie to me still seems like a Spider-Man Iron Man movie, but also with Mysterio. Like, I think I want Parker to stand a little bit more on his own for just one film.
Okay.
And I think
Because I'm like, it's about him, but I guess he has a lot of support.
And
Correct.
I think you'll end up getting that at some point, but I don't know. I mean, him being high school, as young as he is, right? I mean, you're giving this kid all these powers, and obviously the struggle he has with that. Like, I just want to go be a fucking kid. I don't want to save the world.
I like
want to
that
be. I
part.
did too.
They didn't really play into any of the consequences from Endgame, as I theorized they wouldn't.
Consequences.
other than the bleep,
You know,
they bleeped out.
Blip.
Yeah.
It's not
That's become like a cultural thing in universe, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I wish it was just called the snap. Like I wish they just called it.
They called it a Peter Tinkle.
Oh, that
I think it's hilarious.
Peter.
I know you
Tingle.
don't. I don't.
know you
I know
don't
that's
like
not your
stuff
bag,
like
but
that.
fucking it's hilarious.
Oh,
to me.
you're Peter Tingle.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I fucking love it.
I don't like that. But
It's not your age demographic.
you know, we talked about like, are they gonna address all the the relationships that ended and came back, and the plane crashes from the pilots and all that, and like they
the band popped back in the middle of the fucking basketball game.
yeah, but they don't. It's more of a brush over thing. They're not gonna. But all I'm saying is that they're not going to take much time with that. They're gone.
Well,
they're
they-
off to the races again. That's that,
Well,
and they're moving.
I
on.
will have to say the
They waited around to see if any Avengers show up. No Avengers is showing up.
yeah,
Because-
and he asked, he's like, "Where's so and so? Off world, busy." You know, I did enjoy thoroughly the poorly executed PowerPoint presentation that was shown at the very beginning of the kids had made this tribute
Yes, I was like
to
yeah, that
the
was-
fallen
yeah,
heroes.
yeah,
I
it was
laughed. I laughed. pretty
purposely
hard at
awful.
that. Yeah,
Fucking loved it.
I
they're mad about having to take finals or whatever.
and I think that's really it. I like this character that is Mary Jane, but she doesn't feel like Mary Jane to me.
Well, I mean, I agree. But I
It's
will.
her attitude.
But I will say, towards the end of the
People
film,
and people change from high school to college to on and on. I'm with the shits. But I'm just saying.
towards the end of the film, she seemed to be a little bit more not as snarky because she knew what was going on with
A
Peter.
bit of it
and
is a front because like she has problem connecting with people.
well, sure,
That's what she even
and
should
listen, that's a totally relatable character.
Yeah.
To a lot of people. I mean, there's tons of people that are like that, probably myself included. I'm snarky with a lot of shit. You know, probably just because I don't
Like
wanna-
especially when people tell you what you can add to your dioramas.
Facts.
Tell me. Just tell.
No, don't.
Tell me
Don't.
before I
Never do it.
Customers happy.
Never
Tell
ever
it.
do it.
The
Tell
customers
me.
are happy.
Tell me before I've sent the final pictures to the customer.
Well, I talked to InstaSam recently, and he was talking about like that diorama and that piece, like one of his favorite things in his entire collection
Oh, the Luke Cave piece, right?
because of how much that movie means to him and all this shit. So like we were talking about it, and I was like, dude, I have to bring up a story
Oh
regarding.
God. Did he go buy some cotton balls?
So I told him, and he was like, dude. Now I feel like I got the incomplete version. I'm gonna write
Yeah.
him. I'm gonna want my piece of my money back.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. This movie doesn't. I think it's a good, straightforward, fun movie. You know, but I don't.
They gave a C to.
Yeah, because I don't think it's anything special. I think it's cool, and it doesn't. There's not a lot of Spider-Man in this movie. There's the noir scene, and then there's the end scene, and that's pretty much it. There's another thing that takes away from it feeling like a Spider-Man movie to me. It just doesn't feel like a Spider-Man movie. It just feels like a movie within this universe that Spider-Man is playing a big part of. Whereas, like with the Ant-Man movies, I feel like this is an Ant-Man movie. It's about Ant-Man.
Doing the Ant-Man stuff.
Yeah, and I don't get that vibe from this. And I can't help but think that perhaps it's because of this detachment between the two studios.
I think you're right.
I mean, in world-wise, part of it has to do with him not wanting to fucking be Spider-Man right now.
Yeah, he wanted to go on this vacation, and he didn't take
want to
his
pack
suit, but his
and he
aunt
just
packed
fucking-
it.
And he only shows up when he has to fucking
Yeah,
show up.
that was funny when the security opened his bag and he's freaking out, and there was a banana or whatever.
It's
in it.
cosplay is fine.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Regarding Mary Jane, I actually wrote this down as something I wanted to talk about. It's like I have come to terms with at least with the Marvel movies, I don't care what's in the comics anymore. I'm only invested in the movie universe, and if I like what I see, I'm good with it.
See,
I don't want to be attached to. I don't want to be attached to some old shit that's gonna keep me from enjoying the new shit.
Yeah, but I don't think you can make as big of a leap with any other character almost.
Right. Like I said, I have to see it. I don't see her as Mary Jane, like the classic Mary Jane. I see her as movie MJ. She's a new character, which is fine with me.
See, it's not fine with
Yeah.
me. Like, I would prefer her just be a new character, and then that would be fine with me. And I'd be like, oh, maybe we'll get to Mary Jane some other day.
Oh, it's like the fucking Blitzwing that looks like Starscream.
Yes. Like,
Like
it's like if Peter Parker was, like, doing the Spider-Man shit, and he was coming home, and Aunt May hit him up on the spider cell, and was like, could you get some eggs on the way home? He's like, fuck you, Aunt May. I'll get your eggs when I fucking feel like it. That's not okay, because that's not that character.
Right.
What I was saying, like to my movie watching enjoyment. Like if it doesn't take me out, like
Would you say it's all about M.E.?
What?
My enjoyment?
yes, oh MJ.
That's the Simpsons.
Oh, my
that's
M.E..
He's like, it's all about me, M.E., my enjoyment.
What I tell you, what I don't like. I don't. As much as fun as the scene was, I don't like the drone strike on the classmate scene.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Doesn't make sense to me. It's a fun sequence of action.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
See, I'm not crazy. I could have done without it. Don't get me wrong, but I do like the idea of him playing in this Stark well and having to be cautious now.
He's like
because
way
he
deeper
doesn't
than
he doesn't know the consequences of what he's doing.
Right. I like that, just not done that way. I
Yeah,
guess.
I hear
he's
you.
in over his head, which is should be.
Right.
And he really knows now. And I don't like the end credit.
So
Okay,
I want to talk about that
let's
real
get
quick.
to the
I
credits.
fucking hate it.
So the first one,
Which one? The first one?
The
hang on, let's go through them in order. So the first one is
J. Jonah Jameson.
right? Who
I
is
fucking love that.
Okay, that's
is-
the one I
That's
love too.
fucking amazing.
who is J.K. Simmons, who played
Yes.
J. Jonah Jameson two versions ago.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to spoil. That's what I didn't want to spoil for you.
So
Multiverse confirmed.
multiverse. So that is what confirms the multiverse, right? That
But it's fucking great because I wasn't spoiled either. No one said anything about it online. As far
so
as I've seen.
I'll say kudos to the world because I didn't purposefully go around. I mean, I didn't go on YouTube watch
Right.
spoiler videos, but social media did not spoil me on this,
Right.
and I was any of it like nothing.
Like, I
got
literally
spoiled.
jumped out of my seat. I was like, oh,
Other
shit.
than like the toys saying, "Well, there's a black suit." I mean, I knew that obviously.
Now, I have a question regarding that scene. What was your biggest oh shit moment from there? The secret identity revealed or the actor?
The actor.
The actor.
So for me, it was a secret identity reveal.
I mean, that's a big deal, but like,
well,
And-
see, so this is what I'm getting ready to say.
Yeah.
I may have set myself up for failure. Let me explain.
Mm.
So that was the big takeaway for me. That was what it was like, oh my God, that's
Yes,
that's
story-wise,
fucking
yes.
awesome. Like where they could take this and what this the implications for this character. But then I started thinking, I was like, this is also something that could be like written away in a line or two in a feature film, like a future film. They were like, what about didn't they out you? Like, you know, it's like the next whatever film and Parker's in it. And they're like, wait, didn't somebody out who you were on the news or something? Like, yeah, but we found a guy Fury found a guy to stand in and say it was him. So now it's all taken.
Yeah.
You know, and then we could never address it again. Like it could be
be
set
that.
up to feel much bigger than it actually is.
yeah,
Right.
it could just be set up for Jameson to be in the movie.
Yes. So
I'm
that's
okay with it either way because I don't know.
I prefer I prefer it to be a big deal.
It's too big of a deal. Like if his identity's just out.
But I'm okay with big deals. I'm okay with that. I mean, obviously they got to find some way to undo it. But I'd be okay if they took a story to do that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see how it's undone.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
There's a couple things in
But
there.
it's too much of a ramification for Peter. I think that's just I don't know.
I believe it's the final scene, and then when he's they're setting up for him to watch that scene. Those are direct shots from the video game. I don't know if you realize that. Like from the new Spider-Man game.
That you just played and 100% completed.
I did 100% complete.
Yeah, so I know it's the scene where he stops and pauses on the traffic signs to watch that. Like that is literally like a shot from the game because you can tell because the way he settles and then the camera tilts just a little bit the way it does in the game. Mason told me that actually because he went with me to see it again.
Nerd.
Yeah, and then of course the very end of the
I hated it. But no,
so
it's a
they
love-hate-
always do this, right?
Love-hate relationship with me with the last scene.
They always have one that's worth a fuck and one that's pointless.
Yeah. So the second one, I don't like the principle of it, but it kind of makes sense because they were kind of inept in the movie, and it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense. I thought that during the movie, I'm like, fucking Nick Fury is not doing very
Getting
well.
it done, yeah.
He's like that doesn't seem like what he usually does. He gets shit done. Even when he fucks up, like it seems like a legit fuck up.
Right.
Like he got
Even his missteps are in the right direction.
exactly, or like he really got outplayed. Not not minor things. So
like there was a big theory going around is like, well, how long has he,
yes,
you know? And then the writers came out and was like, it's just this movie.
yeah. But I did after I left the movie. I said, well, I guess you did need to see Captain Marvel because I mean I know a lot of people that like didn't see that and just went and saw Infinity. It's like, what do you need to know?
I didn't see Captain
That-
Marvel yet.
Well, the only thing you need to know is that last end scene. That's all set
Based
up
on the
in
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. So back in the Nick Fury's known about them since the 90s.
Yeah, I know that
know,
part.
I love
That's as
that
far as
scene.
Because they
I
were
know.
in the trailer.
Where's my shoes?
I mean, but they always do this, right? They always have one that's like just
for
for
funsies.
a lulls. And then,
Yeah, I mean, it was. I looked at it as almost like more of a world building thing. It's like connecting it all together.
My
little more.
favorite parts of the movie are the Mysterio versus Spider-Man. Like
the infight or the noir?
when he was
Like
in the
when he's-
illusions.
when he's fucking with him. Yeah, that
Yeah,
like
that
kind
was
of bothered
fucking
me a little
great.
bit. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's real.
I almost feel kind of panicked about
Well,
it. You know?
I was going to say that they found a way. That, with one exception, I've never found Mysterio to be a scary villain
Right.
until this movie.
That was like,
And then I was like, holy shit,
nerve-wracking.
this would be a
he-
challenging opponent.
He reminds me more of Scarecrow
Yeah.
Yeah.
than I realized
But
because
he
I really
could-
don't know. All I know about Mysterio really is from Old Man Logan.
Well, so that is the most horrifying scene I've
it's
ever
fucking
seen.
awful.
With
Are you
Mysterio
familiar with
in
that?
it.
I haven't read it in a long time.
So Wolverine comes
Since
into
when
the
it came out.
Wolverine comes into the X Mansion, and all of the X Men are dead, and all of the X Men villains are standing over their bodies, and Wolverine dispatches all of them. Like goes into ultra uber Wolverine rage,
Berserker Rage.
kills every single last one of them, and then Mysterio basically snaps his fingers and shows that Wolverine just killed all the X Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's the scene. I just pulled the book off. So that's the scene right there where he tells him because he literally just guts everybody and he's killed all his friends because he thinks it's all the villains.
That's been the only time I've ever been like, holy shit, Mysterio's a problem.
Yeah, it's like Mysterio it's like fucking Iceman. He has powers I could use, but like he's a fucking
Don't
idiot.
bring up Iceman anymore at this point.
Mysterio's just like, I'm
cold.
gonna steal some money.
He's an Omega level mutant.
Yeah, no,
by the way.
I know. I'm just cold to him.
But like, yes.
Zing.
So Mysterio in the movie, I loved. I fucking loved it. And he wasn't even there to him. We're just standing back watching.
Yeah.
And then made
I
him
thought it was
fucking
cool.
get
Yeah, no,
hit-
I thought he was
hit by
great.
a train. Like,
But I mean, like I same thing. I just feel like it was more of a Mysterio story
So-
than it was a
so-
I
part.
think he's dead.
Here's a question for you.
I don't know.
So in the first Spider-Man movie, there was the villain was
Vulture.
he was driven by events that happened directly.
Avengers 1.
Avengers events. This villain was driven by somewhat like the same path, right? Tony Stark in general. So do you think this will be, the Sinister Six, if they ever get to that, will be built around?
Maybe because I mean
No,
we saw
we
this
all
like
hate-
this beginning of build with Scorpion, and I mean it would probably be a
That
different.
tease.
It'd probably be a different Sinister Six, but
Yeah.
I mean I'd definitely be up for it. But dude, I don't know. I mean, like what were we talking about last week? That like that relationship might absolve if this movie doesn't do $1 billion.
I don't
It
remember
definitely
what
did
it
$1 billion.
was.
I don't think
it did.
Oh, it did?
It just did.
Oh,
I just
okay.
saw on, well, I don't know. According to fake news, Facebook,
Right.
it went over $1 billion.
I mean, the way that relationship was explained to me is basically they just give Sony money. They don't have any control over the character, but they don't have any production costs or anything.
No,
Is that
They
Sony
had-
doesn't?
No,
Are they splitting it?
So it's the other way around. Like Sony doesn't give them any money, but Marvel takes care of all of the creative elements of it. Sony just puts up the money.
Okay.
Like Sony pays for it.
I don't care how it works as long as Marvel keeps Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sony pays for it, but Marvel does all the writing. They do all they're in charge of all the creative elements.
Disney's going to buy Sony anyway, so
Yeah,
eventually.
probably.
Dude, I don't want Mysterio to be dead. I want him to be a trick because of character-wise, and
yeah.
B, because I like... it would be nice for Marvel to not throw away good villains.
You're right, and they always do
He's
that.
a good one. They didn't throw away Vulture. He's still around.
He
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I mean,
So if Mysterio is still around too, that would be good.
I mean, look how much development they got, with Loki by keeping him around as long as they did.
Yeah, it
And
crossed.
Ted-
It
Problem is
crossed.
they didn't keep him a fucking villain.
It crossed $1 billion.
Yeah.
It crossed. $1 billion.
Congratulations, that's awesome. Is that worldwide?
Yeah, worldwide.
Okay.
Definitely. The majority of it is foreign, actually.
What's the next Spider-Man villain you want to
Farn.
see? Goblin? Everyone wants to see Goblin.
I want to see Craven.
I would love to see.
Craven.
I would love to.
Craven will be a down-to-earth one without
Yeah,
Iron Man.
exactly.
Be-
I would love to see Goblin, but Goblin really needs to be an intimate Spider-Man story. It can't be a Stark story.
There's no Osborn, like
Oscorp,
Oscorp, but there's no like Peter and Harry relationship so far.
yeah, that's true.
So we can't just.
That's true.
It'd be
Well,
nice
see-
if they would have built up to it, like if he's been around for the last 2 movies.
I would also hope that while they're out in space doing all this space stuff they got going on in the next couple movies, that they come across the symbiote. That, you know what I mean, but I don't know. I would doubt they do that because I bet you that Sony has plans eventually to tie
I
their.
thought there was this Venom 2 coming out with Andy Serkis directing.
Yeah, that's a rumor. But,
I know.
but yeah. I think that. I mean, if you don't think that Sony is trying to tie this Venom movie into this world somehow, I think that you're not from this planet. Like they want the success as well. You know?
Yeah, but like at this point, like I think even myself, I feel myself being biased. Like being a Marvel fan, I'm like fuck you, Sony. Like I hope you fail.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see like, at the end of the day, that Spider-Man comics are more of a New York based stories. Do you want to see like the Marvel Knights slide in there at some point? Do you think that lane is where you're going to get Punisher eventually? You're going to get Daredevil.
I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about last week.
I mean, Ghost Rider, Blade, all that could.
I would love for them to start doing those types of movies.
So. Blade's way, yeah. 12 years or some shit.
I also noticed that like as soon as we saw Spider-Man at the end of that movie back in New York, I was like, this is what I want. Mm-hmm. I don't want Spider-Man out of New York.
No, I don't either.
I hope that he never leaves New York again, unless it's for some space battle.
That's how I feel about Batman.
Yeah.
But you like him in Justice League and doing
I'll tell you.
So, whenever he teams up with someone, that's kind of the exception. You know what I mean?
I don't even want to see him team up with you. I just want him to stay in Gotham and do his Gotham thing.
But like there are movies where Batman, not movies, but books where Batman is going to Japan and Batman is going here and there, and like I don't want any of that. Like I want Batman to be Batman in America.
We still need to watch Samurai Batman.
I do want to watch that.
It's actually pretty good.
I do want to watch that.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed the steampunk one too.
Don't spoil it for him.
But when he teams up, see when Batman teams up, to me it's like it's a necessity. It's like they know they can't do it without him. So he just like reluctantly like fair enough. And I think almost in Batman's head, this threat is big enough to be threatening to the world. And unfortunately, Gotham is in the world, so therefore I have to go.
I feel like for Batman, if Gotham is somehow in like a sphere bubble where it's not affected by anything else,
he would leave it all.
He would care less if the world blows up.
And I think Aquaman would do the same for Atlantis, honestly. Like I think they're very similar that way.
There was a when DC did Rebirth, and I was still buying Lucy comics back then. I picked up a series. They had the regular Batman book, of course, Detective, and they did an all-star Batman book. Mm-hmm. Have you ever read that?
They've done 2, I think.
Well, this is the one that's it's not All-Star Batman and Robin that Frank Miller did.
Okay.
This is Snyder
and
Romita Jr. did the art initially.
I don't think so.
Well, basically it starts out Batman's. I think he's chasing the Riddler across the country or something crazy like. So it's one of those kind of out of pocket stories. But I enjoyed it. I need to probably just pick up the trade and read it.
Yeah.
They only did. I just looked the book ended after 14 issues. So
that's a good run though for like a little.
Yeah. I mean, like they quit publishing the book. So,
what was I going to say about? There was
Spider-Man not being out of New York.
Yeah. I'm good with that. But there's one other thing I wanted to say about Iron Man 3 before we moved on.
We moved on,
and that is that I think the switch for the Mandarin isn't jarring to me because I love the Mandarin. I actually don't give a fuck about the Mandarin. Mm-hmm. The switch is jarring to me because, much like Mysterio, for the first time I found that villain to be terrifying, and it was because of what Kingsley did with it.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
yeah. I mean, from the propaganda piece, you'll never see me coming and.
I bought all that.
I love that. I mean, I have the Hot Toys figure because I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I guess they bit themselves in the ass, because they made him so good that when a switch happened, you don't want to undo it.
You can't hire that dude. You know what I mean? He's too much of a master of his craft.
Yeah.
He's gonna do whatever the first thing is.
And I think
you're supposed to believe in that and then be like, oh shit, we got bamboozled. But it was too good. And you didn't want to be bamboozled.
I think that that finding that out was like, oh shit. But the fact that Ben Kingsley's playing that and then you find out the switch is like, because that you really never see that coming because he's such an iconic Oscar winning
he's done some trash movies though.
He's a sir.
Yeah, Sir Ben Kingsley.
All right, what else you got on your?
Oh yeah, I did. I watched some random ass movies this week. My wife wanted to watch this. We found it online. It's a movie called The BFG. It's a
big fucking gun.
Big Friendly Giant. It's based on a kid's book.
Yeah.
It's
how was that?
That's definitely not what it says in Doom.
It's okay. It's fine. I mean, it's a kid's movie, so there's some ridiculous elements to it, and it's basically that there's giants running around in England, which is funny. There's a Hellboy story that's literally the exact same thing, but because it's based on a mythos from a long time ago. But it was fun. Me and Kelly watched that the other morning before the kids got. I watched Spider-Verse again, and I could probably just watch that constantly.
Yeah,
did you watch that ever?
Yeah,
Did
we talk about it
recently?
Yeah, I think you were here when we talked about it. But I liked it. I liked it a fair bit.
I liked it in the beginning.
I wish they
did the same movie sequence.
I wish it was a Miles story and not a multiverse story. That's my
dude. I tell you that noise that they make when Prowler's out. that's like fucking haunting, man. I love that noise.
But I like I think that like all that bubblegum shit at, when the universes are colliding, like I find it to be distracting. I think and don't get me wrong, I think it's a good movie. It's definitely the best Marvel animated movie.
Yeah. So there's a you're right about that. And did you know that's the lowest dollar wise of any Spider-Man movie ever?
I can believe that.
Yeah,
that's an easy belief. The cast, the net is not as wide.
Right. There's a really good, it's on YouTube, video about the animation and how they picked out the styles and why they use this here, and it's all supposed to be very comic book looking. That's why there's
I think that works.
What do you call it? Where the dots are used for shading. And
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
and it used to be from the print.
Mm-hmm. Right. So they use that. I mean, I don't know. That movie just.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I just wish that it was a Miles story. I think I would have enjoyed it more had it just been because the Miles story ended up being fucking like heart wrenching. Like it's there's a lot of heart in that story.
There is. Watched Incredibles 2 again, which I hadn't watched.
I enjoyed it.
I've never seen it.
I hadn't watched it. I saw it in the theater, and I hadn't watched it since. It's good. It's not as good as the first one. I mean, I've probably watched the first Incredibles movie probably 100 times.
That's really good.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Where's my super suit?
You see, you guys like the dad stuff.
It was the day we picked the kids up. Kelly and I went to Arby's for the drive-through. We went, bought groceries because we had been, childless for so long. We had I think there was beer in the refrigerator, beer and cheese or something like that. So we had to literally buy groceries for the kids coming back. And we just ran through the Arby's drive-through, and I got a French dip, which I love their French dip sandwich. So I get back home, and there's no the au jus is missing, right?
That's the dip part.
Right.
French dip.
So I tweeted at Arby's. I said, "Hey Arby's, do you know what a French dip without the au jus is? It's a roast beef on a hot dog bun." They responded. They said, "Fill this form out," and they sent me coupons for 2 free combo meals.
Nice.
Which honestly I didn't expect anything, but that was pretty cool.
I mean, they have a fun fucking social media. They have a lot of anime references.
Nice.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot of cool shit.
Anime references.
I like that Jimmy Seafood Twitter account. You ever seen that?
Sounds familiar,
dude.
Jimmy in Baltimore.
Yeah, because they put up
on Halliburton,
PETA put up a billboard that was
and then and they were just fucking.
Then they put up. Then Jimmy started putting up billboards that was
fucking them up,
dude. And now, anytime anybody tweets at him with any of that shit, they just go in on them. They're like, looked over your account. They're like, is that your grandma or your sister? And you know what I mean? They go hard.
I love that shit.
Jimmy's is the wrestling destination. So every time the wrestlers
come,
they go to Jimmy's. Anybody, there's the guys who do the podcasts and stuff that they do their shows at Jimmy's. So if you go to Jimmy's, they got pictures on the wall of all the wrestlers and stuff. I've been there a couple times. Weird flex, but not for wrestling. Let's see what else. I watched a documentary on Netflix, and I'm going to be honest. The word documentary needs to be changed to something else.
Yeah,
because I have said this.
More subdivisions.
I have said this so many times.
Objective
documentaries are always from some point of view.
Yeah.
And let's boil it down to there were 2 Fyre Fest documentaries told by 2 different parties.
Yep.
At the end of the day, the story is the same, but how they get there is completely different.
Yep.
Unless it's science shit.
But do you guys want
more objective?
You guys want to buy any event tickets? Because I'm your guy.
No.
Did you have anything to the Area 51?
Yeah. I have those, dude. I bet you that guy right now is hustling tickets to the Area 51.
I think he's trying to turn it into a fucking techno EDM fest.
That's not bad.
Makes sense.
Aliens will probably be into
it. So I watched this movie on Netflix called The Great Hack. This documentary. This is about the data with Cambridge Analytics. Is that it, or is it Cambridge Analytica?
Okay.
This is the company that used the Facebook data for the election.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's a young lady named, what was her name? Brittany.
Of course it's Brittany.
Of course
Spears.
It's Brittany. No.
Murphy.
What is it? I wrote it down. Brittany Kaiser.
She dead, isn't she?
Brittany Kaiser.
Dude, God bless the dead. She would have been a great Harley.
Her name's Brittany Kaiser, and she was kind of the center of all this. So she was like the social media manager for the Obama campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Obama.
And then she worked for the Trump campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said, what was that about? She's like,
Is this a job?
they didn't pay me to do the Obama stuff. I had to make a living. So here comes Trump. But this company was using this data.
Sad.
They were, yeah, they were using Facebook data as a start. They were buying the stuff, from good old Zuck, and they
Zuckerbuck.
the good old Zuck. Anytime I miss somebody's birthday, I'm like, Zuckerberg has failed us. Happy belated birthday. But they went through all the elections that they had something to do with. So all this stuff in African countries and I think some stuff in Russia. Basically, they used all that to test this stuff out. Brexit. Mm-hmm. You guys know what Brexit is?
Yes,
of course. It's my people.
Huh? Oh, yeah. That's right.
Both of you are like, huh?
Cody
would vouch for me.
According to this documentary, they made that happen.
Yeah,
Good job.
I've heard that too.
So there was an election in Trinidad and Tobago's, and you've got you've got Indian people there, and you've got African American people there, and they came up with this campaign for young people to not vote. They had the hand sign and T-shirts and all this stuff. Yeah,
Wakanda.
Yeah, forever. And they said we knew the African American kids weren't going to go vote still, based on this thing we did. The Indian kids, their parents were going to make them go vote. It swayed the election by 6%, and the Indian guy won. Is that not crazy as shit? So, and there's a ton of different stories about that.
Wow.
The way it came back. The guy who's, and it's kind of confusing about who owns what and how it came to be. But the guy who's the point man for this company, and he's not in the. He wouldn't be interviewed, but they showed his screen video and stuff. He looks like a fucking actor. I swear to God, I thought it was is this? He looks just like some actor, and I don't know what, but he's got the face of somebody that would be on TV. If that makes sense. But it was a very good movie, and it's worth watching. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt, but it makes you want to just I don't know if we should be using this Facebook. And part of me is okay, you think about how this stuff has been ingrained in our lives so deep, right? You just wonder and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but it makes you wonder how. Yeah, how far back did they decide this is what they were going to do with all this stuff?
I can't detach from Facebook.
I couldn't either. I mean, from a business standpoint,
I can't because from a business standpoint, I can't because what do I got to do now for fucking Halloween invites? What do I got to do now for fucking Skullfest invites? I got to fucking snail mail you a fucking new stamp.
And Messenger sure is easy to use.
There's no fucking way I'm going to do that. How do I communicate with people that live in foreign countries? It's Facebook.
Me too.
I can't detach at this point. I don't use it very often. I'm on Facebook less than 15 minutes a day, according to my summary each week. But those 15 minutes are important to my just keeping the ball rolling here.
Did either of you guys see a lot of Trump campaign ads on your Facebook feed when he was running for president?
No.
Do you remember seeing any?
No.
Do you know why?
Why?
That's because your 5,000 data points they've collected on you don't indicate that your mind can be changed about anything. That's who they targeted.
That makes sense about Bobby.
They targeted it. It
changed my about shit.
So that election basically was won by less than 100,000 people. That's what swung it for Trump on the swing states.
Fucking propaganda has been around forever.
But
it is what it is.
The point they make there is they don't think that they can ever be another fair election anywhere in the world because whoever uses that company is
Has
gone
there ever
now.
been a fucking fair election? That's my fucking question.
But using this data is such a gray area, right? Is this
because my thing I'm not subscribed to any political things on Facebook.
Yeah, me either. I scroll past them on purpose.
The people that most often post political things, I unfollow them.
I do too.
Yep. I don't get on Facebook.
I'm not even talking. That doesn't matter. That doesn't.
But
matter.
see, I'm curious as to how they would come to that conclusion regarding me. And is it because I block political shit from my feed?
It could be, and part of it is that you live in an area where it doesn't matter if you voted or not.
Oh, that's probably very true.
Which is the majority of. I mean,
both red and blue states.
Exactly. Yeah. They're that way for it's very hard to turn a state.
The only political thing I take part in is I listen to the Fifth Column podcast.
Yeah.
Which is and what's funny about it is I think that they're fairly straightforward and critical of both sides, but they're a libertarian podcast at their center, which is a far right kind of mindset. but they're extremely critical of
I don't know that libertarians are the far right.
I think so.
Libertarians leave me the fuck alone.
They have more in common with the right than the left. I think.
Yeah, because they're like they want government to stay the fuck out of everything, which is what the conservative view is as well. Supposed to be. So, but I mean, like, I guess they feel like neither side is doing that, so they aim their fucking tanks at everything. You know. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the one thing I listen to politically is like if someone comes on political and Joe Rogan, I haven't actually listened to him since I came back from Japan. I just wonder what I miss. But like he has people from both sides on, so I get to get both views, but on a more objective, like one-on-one. I really get to.
It's more well-rounded.
Not a commercial. Like you see this guy talk for 3 hours, and like I definitely have dislike people less or like understand their view more from listening to them talk about things I don't agree with.
Yeah,
I see where they come from.
Yeah.
So I guess the kind of underlying story of this whole thing was this one gentleman, I don't remember his name. He wanted his data. He said, "Hey, I want to see," and I guess in the fine print or whatever it says, you know, you can have this information if you want. He's like, he contacted them and said, "I want my data. I want to see what you have on me." They wouldn't give it to him. He sued them. They lost. But they had already dissolved the company, so nothing happened.
Wow.
But they said in there that data is the most valuable commodity. It's more valuable than oil now.
That is how you pay. Like people complain a lot about a lot of things, but people who complain about free shit bothers me because like you're getting shit for free. It's not fucking free.
Correct.
That's why Facebook's free. And you know, my wife and I were talking about it
because you're the good.
Right.
Yeah,
right. We're the commodity.
Yeah.
We're the commodity.
So like,
this is what they were doing. They were you know, there's that box you check and it says. Nobody reads user agreements. Like for example, this last
South Park episode about that shit.
This last thing about the face swap or whatever, where everybody's making themselves old.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a Russian company, and there's some shit deep down in. I mean, it's probably in every single one of these.
Yeah.
So like, what they were doing is you check that box, they were scrubbing your data, and then they were scrubbing your friends list. And other companies weren't doing it. They were the first ones to do that. So they were pulling your network's data.
I mean, that Russian shit, man. Like I was on this podcast when as soon as that weaponizing hatred article published, talking about how they tied all the Last Jedi shit back to like 2 Russian accounts, and then they've just recently tied the Ariel shit back to Russian accounts, like the Not My Ariel.
Right.
Like it's all this, and I don't want to get too into the woods on this, and I don't know enough about it.
Hey, real quick. Hey,
also Adam's not here to talk about it.
Matt H.
He probably knows more about it than I do.
Matt H. Is this what you want? Is this what you want?
Is this what you want?
Is this what?
But like like they were saying how, they're doing this anything that will sow dissension in American culture. So like
that's what it is. And one of the points they brought up is how. And it was Zuckerberg. I don't know when Zuckerberg did his. Then they showed pretty much the whole thing of him, and he testified. He said, "Our goal or our mission statement is to bring people together," or something like that. And somebody else is like, "How's the thing I'm supposed to bring us together now tearing us apart?"
Yeah,
because it literally is. There's so much.
I mean, it's on.
You know what I mean?
On the user, though.
Like the Black Lives Matter movement is. Facebook has made that what it is, good, bad, or otherwise.
Right.
Most movements that have happened. For fucking Christ's sake, Area 51 shit.
Yeah.
But okay,
listen,
Facebook is a platform. It's a people on the platform that makes things what they are.
Exactly right.
I'm on it, and I make what it is out of it.
There's
no movement on my fucking shit. I'm not in anything.
Right. But here's the deal. What your Facebook is your Facebook.
Yeah.
Mine is mine. Bobby's is Bobby. Everybody has their own.
Yeah.
The thing that we in our generation, let's just say for simplicity's sake, when we were all around 18, the internet was a viable thing that we used pretty much every day going forward. Is that a safe thing to say? Mm-hmm. So my oldest child is 17. In that pocket, he has always had the internet available. Mm-hmm. So they were talking.
He was born into it.
He was born.
Molded by it.
People are the luckiest people.
Okay.
Bobby, you've gone too far. You brought Babs into this. We're gonna have words.
Sorry.
Josh Brolin's stepmother has nothing to do with it. And I've totally lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so there was keep that in mind. What I said about we have a pre-internet life that we remember, right? Fondly, probably.
No, not at all.
Me, I miss the magic. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the bonuses, but I miss the magic.
And the magic being, I wonder how this works, and having to go figure.
No,
out.
it was like, dude, maybe Marilyn Manson did take a rib out to suck his own dick.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe what the youngest new kid had to get his stomach pumped because he was full of semen. Yeah, I mean that kind of shit, right? So, but there was somebody on there, a younger person that was talking about they didn't care about their day. I mean, it doesn't bother me. And Kelly and I were watching this together, and I don't have. You can look at everything I have. What do you want? Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit.
Just listen to us talk on here.
Yeah, there's nothing. Especially this guy. You should see the inside of my asshole. Hey, I got a colonoscopy. I'm going to post it on Patreon. Anybody wants to check it out? Listen.
Want me to tell you an oral?
Dude, because I don't give a like, because I don't give a shit.
Me too.
You know, like I'm just like, dude, man. If there's something that I had to keep private, there's like a specific reason for it, or because it's been a specific request.
Right.
Like sometimes Laura will tell me like something will happen in our day-to-day life,
and
I'm
she
like,
just looks at you and says, "Don't."
Yeah. I'll look at her. I'll look at her like. And she's like, no podcast.
No
podcast.
Not even Patreon? What about the $20 tier?
It's because our friends listen to it.
Right.
So, like,
right.
Like I was a little bit embarrassed when we were having that podcast with Dante and Sarah and Krista. Like Sarah's like,
I can't get it to download, by the way.
I had to ask Dante about that.
Okay.
And like she mentioned something, I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, I listen." I'm like, "Oh shit,
Sarah, listen?
Yeah.
Oh my god."
Yeah. Shout out Sarah.
What's up,
but
Sarah?
Now it's like, oh shit, all the things I've talked about here. She probably sees me as some kind of fucking deep.
Sorry.
I am.
But like honestly, what do you think about like Facebook has such a wide swath of people? So, and obviously there's other social media networks that the younger generation, like Mason, for example. He uses Twitter and Reddit. He has a Facebook, and he uses it sometimes, mainly because it's easy for me to communicate with him through the messenger. But you know, he doesn't use Facebook the way we do. Like he was showing me, there's like an action figure r/action figures on Reddit.
Yeah,
It was like
Reddit's
people are like, you know, here's my dirty mattress with my action figure. I was like, hey, let me show you something.
Yeah.
It's called the Marvel Legends community on. You see, that mattress isn't quite dirty enough to put your Marvel, but there's a lot of comparisons. There's just a different platform. But I mean, MySpace, you know, kind of started all this nonsense for us. And damn it, Tom,
it's different age group. Man. Like older people use Facebook.
I remember the first time. This was probably 2006 or 7. I was managing a Blockbuster Video, weird flex, and I hired this kid who had never worked before. Which at entry level retail, honestly, that's the best people to get because they're not jaded yet, and you can like had to teach this kid how to mop a floor. Mm-hmm. Bobby would have been like, "Hey, come here, kid.
I show the S pattern.
You want to use a Western grip? You got to get the bottom hand underneath."
I'm big on the S pattern.
Funny story. That guy's like an investment banker in New York now. So,
but can he mop a floor?
That's he probably doesn't have to. He had never heard of mine. He didn't know what MySpace was. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? Because like Facebook, it was. And I remember when Facebook first came out.
Have you ever seen pictures of Have you ever seen pictures of Beirut? It's very similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Facebook's still there. I mean, MySpace is still there.
It's different now.
My
account's still active.
It's all
your page is gone.
It's all music
driven. Well, they almost got some steam under them during like the SoundCloud era when they switched over to it, but the SoundCloud era beat them out.
I remember like I think Justin Timberlake got involved in it somehow.
Yeah.
I actually, the last time I went on MySpace was I had my wrestling promotion somehow. It was still there, and I had all the pictures from it, and I just basically ripped all the pictures off.
Did it feel like yours anymore? Did it really feel like your space anymore?
No, it wasn't. Tom wasn't there to give me my morning massage.
I unfriended that motherfucker quick.
Hey, he might have been the smartest one of all of us.
Yeah.
He sold his shit and fucking cashed out. That's the smartest thing to do. You don't have to fucking sit on Congress and fucking answer questions to these dumb old motherfuckers.
Facts.
Yeah.
Just cash the fuck out. What more do you want?
More things
than $1 billion.
Yeah.
I've been picking up some of the older Mezco stuff I skipped, and a lot of it I'm like they have a couple Iron Man suits that are. I was hesitant to get because it's like the soft goods is a big thing with Mezco, obviously, and they're not, but they're very well done.
You should want to sell it in a month anyway.
Maybe, I don't know. Which I think I'm I think I'm getting fluid again. I actually had some thoughts about that this week. I've not completely gutted a collection in probably 6-8 months. So I've sold some pieces here and there, but that's about it. I was going to ask you guys about this. So we all are creative in somewhat intertwined ways.
Mine has the 8 in the middle. Like
Create.
CR.
So Joe, let me talk to you about this. Because that's definitely not going.
I'm a technician. I'm not an artist.
Actually, I'll just roll that right into my business plan here. Let's open a makerspace, and it's called the Create Space, and there's 8 workstations, 8 different pieces of equipment.
Oh,
And we
See where I'm going here?
And we could sell food as well
ice cream.
for the create.
This is awful.
Yeah, somebody else on the receiving end of this shit.
You know, the first thing that comes to my head, in my head, is what the first thing I was like, fuck, that's going to be a pain in the ass to keep the food separated from the mess we're going to make, and how are we going to get a permit for that? That's literally the first thing my mind said. But like and you guys have talked about this before, and honestly, like my wife has been working with me a lot more on my wife.
Always make me think of that one. Only when you says that.
My wife
Sounds a lot like Borat.
because I just think it's like my fiance. Fio, that's from Oh Brother Where Art Thou? You guys ever seen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it just reminds me of every fucking Jerry Springer episode I've ever seen.
Fiance. Yeah, everybody's always a fiance. I don't know. I get I think more energy creatively when I'm working, like not necessarily working on something with somebody, but being like right now, if we were all fucking working on a project.
Oh yeah.
I think we'd be all into it, and it'd be easy for Bobby to say, you know what you should do while you're working.
Before you're done.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
But you know, it's about the energy, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Like even when I've mentioned this to Adam 1,000 times when I'm in that like little painting, not so much the new one. Because I don't get the energy in the new space, but when he used to have it in the back room with like the natural light coming in, it was like a little separate cubby.
Yeah.
When I was in there, I wanted to create something. Like it has like when you're around that energy, it's just like anything else. Like when you're feeling fucking, you got a fucking case of the blues and you're around fucking super happy people, like you just start coming up. It's same vice versa.
Right.
Negative people, you start fucking getting drugged down, right? Like like that shit is fucking. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got a call from my brother today, which weird flex. But
He's in Alabama?
Well, he's in Alabama.
Still?
Still.
Where he's still from?
He's still from. And he was asking me just like, hey,
Does he think you're a sellout?
I don't think he thinks I'm a sellout. No. He was like, I guess like they got married last December, and they got married at a like a vineyard kind of place that had a building, and it was
bougie.
It was cool.
In Alabama, though?
Probably not. It was a gravel driveway. We won't say bougie.
Some boy with ripped pants stepping on the grapes in the back.
Authentic feel.
Oh man, this tastes like this tastes like Randy made these.
Is it a pair of young boys' trousers?
So he was saying they do a thing there. Basically, it's I don't remember what they call it. It's like paint and Pinot or something. Where this is a
thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing where you go. But he was saying they're doing it more of a like not just painting. So like I'm gonna try to explain this to you. Have you guys ever seen like it's a Christmas decoration? It's a reindeer for your yard, and it's basically there's a piece,
lights all over it.
Well, no, I don't know if there's lights all over, but it's like it's made of MDF or whatever, and there's a piece that's the body and the head. It's just a flat piece of MDF, and then 90 degrees turn to that. There's legs that are notched in, and then there's antlers. He was telling me that like they're doing that. It's like $90 to come do that, and you get like 2 glasses of wine. And he was asking me some questions. It's like I'm pretty sure we could do something like that. It just got my brain thinking like if I had a space like that, we could do all sorts of shit like that. Like come make a Christmas thing and it's this much. And I look, there are some places in Frederick that do that.
We
They have rental workshops.
I mean, we could do one nerd-wise too.
Well, we couldn't.
He's all about getting people into dioramas.
I've thought about doing like a diorama weekend
Workshop.
at my house or something, like cleaning out all the furniture, just putting up, taping everything on.
I don't know.
I think it'd be cool.
I wouldn't dare impose on your perfect.
You could have
but if I could be an assistant instructor, just as a assistant to the assistant instructor, maybe then
assistant to the region, you could be my Dwight Schrute.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's a third party knockoff Smash Crate.
Right. And then we set up like a workshop.
Well, see, we'll put Smash Crate outside.
You'd have to charge a certain amount, but everybody gets so many pieces of foam. Everybody gets so many paint brushes, paints. Right. You know what I mean? Like set it up that way. That'd be fun.
They have a thing like that at the Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Well, that was free.
I mean, if you think about it, like TFCon has a thing where you can pen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my dad is involved, not so much anymore since they started traveling in the metal shaping community, like making, building anything out of metal, using all this equipment he has. And he's done that before. He several times had just my mom calls it his Tupperware parties.
Whoa.
Has all had all these people come and they'll camp in the yard
All
and
these
someone stay in
people
the hotel. Yeah, all at once. It's like it's skeet. It's
That's-
everywhere. And my mom's like, Carrie, are you going to clean that up?
What's up, party people?
Yeah, he's up on the car lift with his hands up, holding like
That's
wide open.
Pinkerton if you're nasty.
Yeah, that's the if you're nasty part. I mean, but he'd have probably 20, 30 people in his shop, and they where you either bring a project, or if you want to learn how to do something, we'll show you how to do it. I think there's opportunity. I mean, I know Beer and Bolters has done some paint classes and stuff.
Like they brought people.
There's
in
one coming up, actually.
Yeah, that's right. So, but the thing is, like, having, and I don't mind having people I know in my house, but like that, I don't know if that I want.
Well,
People like
dude, I would. I mean, and I'm not trying to. You do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit. But if I were you, because I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if I were you and you wanted to think about doing something like that, I would just have it as a strictly outdoor event. You know what I mean?
that could be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess anyways.
Right.
Probably better.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
You got a hose outside.
Right.
right. Yeah, what are you hosing down?
No, hose. As in.
is this your dad's fucking party or?
Oh, sorry, Carrie. Yeah, and I think that was pretty much it for me. I know that went long, but we tied a couple things in there.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, I got a few things on mine. So I saw some Disney movies. I watched the Jungle.
Hate them all, right?
No. I watched the Jungle Book again.
What, live action or cartoon?
Live action. Still love it. Still, dude, Gigantopithecus. And I watched Lion King.
Live action or
Live action.
IMAX 3D?
No.
You fucking up?
No, it's for the
I haven't
kids.
seen- I haven't seen it.
So it was the baby's first movie. I wanted it to be Rise of Skywalker, but I was overruled. So now she may not go see Rise of Skywalker. What to see? What kind of movie I'm in?
How did she do in the theater?
Okay. About halfway to 3/4 of the way, the bathroom became a pretty fun adventure. She talked a fair amount, but it was always like specific. Like during the whole Mufasa death scene, like she was like, "Oh, poor Simba," like all this type of shit.
Here's an interesting thing here. Did she relate what was going on the screen to what she knew from the cartoon?
Definitely.
Okay, that's
100%.
I'll give them credit for being able to do that.
So, I think it's fine. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Did you like the cartoon though?
Love it.
Oh, in '83 then.
In 83. So the reason why I would give it a 7 out of 10, it's pretty much the exact same, almost scene for scene, almost line for line. Like it's like the exact same. And
That's your title, by the way. 7 is 83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is I need a little bit more. Like Jungle Book gives me a little bit more.
I feel like they can't win with it. If it's exactly the same,
Yeah,
people
I don't
complain.
think
If
you
it's
can
not
win.
the same, then people will complain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, the general consensus I've heard of this is it's fine. It's the same thing. So like I think there is like staying too close. Like one of the things, and you'll have to refresh my memory if you're familiar with the movie at all.
Very.
Okay, so when Scar goes to the hyena hangout, let's call it.
Whoa, what was that?
When Scar goes to the hyena hangout,
That was Walt Disney.
blowing the whistle.
does he already know who the hyenas are? Are they?
Yeah.
They already
They're in cahoots.
They're already in cahoots, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the changes they made in the live action is
Introductions.
it's an introduction. When he goes to the hyena hangout, that's how they get to know one another.
And you know what, Bobby? It could be that like as soon as that was out and was done, whoever was the director of that movie was like, "Damn, we should have
Thrown
fleshed that
something
out."
in there.
Yeah,
But,
and I don't know if it'd be interesting to see if anyone like from a production standpoint was involved in the live action that was involved in the animated.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Well, James Earl Jones.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
from a production.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
why
I'm just
I
kidding.
said
I'm just kidding. I'm
production.
just kidding. I was the one thing that was interesting was when he comes in, it's a cool little sequence because the little lions get away from Mufasa and Scar comes into the hyena hangout, and he says something along the lines of like, "Look around you. You have killed everything in a 2-mile radius from the grass to the elephant. And I send 2 lion cubs straight to your home and you can't manage to kill them." And then the hyenas start getting like defensive. And then he makes his point as to, look, join me and we can take over and I will give you the Pride Lands. So like you get this little backstory on how which was nice, but I could have used a little bit more of that sort of thing throughout. The most cringy moment in it is a Beyonce line. She plays the grown-up Nala, and when the end movie, like there's no spoilers really to be had with this thing because it's the exact same movie. But when
30-year spoiler alert.
When the female lions fight the hyenas, she's like, "Lions, attack!" And it just seems too much. Like it seems like it's better left unsaid. I will say this though: the performances fall flat.
Really?
Because it's harder to show a real animal emote.
Yes,
this is true.
I agree.
And like I was amazed like watching it. I was like, man, a lot of this is not coming out the same way. Rafiki works tremendously, but is closer to a human.
I think you're biased.
But yeah, maybe that too. But
Badass monkey,
dude, he's fucking badass in this thing.
Family.
And it's I could listen to James Earl Jones read a book on tape, and I'd be perfectly happy. So. Yeah, it was fine. Let's see what else.
What if you read that really bad Star Wars book? Would you listen to it?
Definitely. Oh, Bakura? Choose Bakura? Yes. Yes, I would. I finished watching Big Little Lies, second
You
season.
love it?
Perfect.
Okay.
It's fucking perfect. And as of right now, like Laura looked it up last night, there's no, because we were like, it's like kind of it's a cliffhanger ending. And so she was like, oh, well, it's supposed to be 14 episodes, and this was episode 7. So then it came back up on the menu, and it was like the final season, or the final episode of such and such, finale. And I was like, I don't think this is going to be 14 episodes because it's saying right here this was the finale. So she looked it up. It's 14 episodes between 2 seasons, 7 and 7. So then they were saying how there's no current plans to make a 3rd season. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I was like, you know what? I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Because like the cliffhanger is like, it's a good one. It's a good one to leave. Like it doesn't
for you to think about.
It doesn't ultimately matter. Like what matters is they made the decision to do what they did.
Yeah.
The outcome of that decision doesn't really matter.
Really?
Yeah.
With the premise of the show that I know of, it seems like the consequences does matter.
Yes. Well, so it's basically. Should I spoil it?
Hasn't been 2 weeks yet.
Should I spoil it? Because you're not going to watch it.
I'm not, but like,
are you going to watch it?
I don't know. I don't even know where to watch it.
So it's on HBO. The first season is one of the characters is married to an abusive husband.
Yeah, they killed him.
They killed him accidentally.
And they lied about it.
And then they lied about it for the whole show. Second season is one of the characters dealing with the lie, and then simultaneously the abusive husband's mother comes to town to investigate and wants the kids.
Okay.
She doesn't trust the mother and wants the kids. So they take the whole custody battle to trial. So the custody battle thing is resolved. And at the end of the show, they like the girl who has been most troubling to, the one who actually pushed him, decides to confess. And she sends a text message to all of them and says, I'm going to confess. And they all show up at the fucking police station and walk in with her to confess. And like that's how it ends.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Correct.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Like it doesn't matter if they're able to beat the system somehow in regards to it, or if they all got to do time, or whatever the case may be, or she has to do more time than them, or whatever. None of that really matters. What matters is they finally decided to tell the truth. And dude, it's fucking amazing. That show is it's the best show I've seen in years, probably since Punisher. Like it's the best show I've seen. Also started watching The Boys.
Oh yeah, I heard it was good.
I haven't started yet.
Really
I'm looking
reviews.
forward to it. I've heard the first episode is just like, yikes.
It's tremendous.
I saw a preview while I was in the theaters, and it was very.
Do you have that
It
book?
piqued my interest.
I want to borrow it.
Okay.
Because do you think reading that beforehand would be helpful or
No.
inconsequential?
Inconsequential.
Is it the same story or is it just set in the same world?
So I'm not finished it yet, the show.
Right, but
so far it's pretty faithful, except there are some small changes.
I'll probably just watch it then. I need to get to it.
But the production value super high.
This is on Amazon.
Yeah, it looks
right?
like a movie.
It looks like a fucking movie. The performances,
I mean, they got
super well done.
Carl Urban.
It's great actors. It's great cinematography. It's great production. Like, that is where I need to live in regard to television. Like, that I can get into. Like, it seems far better than any of the fucking Marvel Netflix shit in terms of just the production value. Like, it looks like you're watching a proper film, you know? It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Doctor Strange is still missing.
Are they gonna? What, if it stays missing, is UPS gonna refund you? I mean, like something.
So Sideshow has officially put a second one on reserve for me. So that is nice. So I do have it covered.
But someone's gonna cover your costs, though. Is UPS gonna reimburse you
What cost?
for the figure
Well,
that they lost?
That's between them and Sideshow. Sideshow's going to send me a second one.
Oh, without no charge to you.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Good for you then.
It's still been a nightmare dealing with UPS.
It's weird. I've had the opposite experience with you. Like, I've had perfect experience with UPS, and USPS is the one who's been fucked me a few times.
Yeah. So I went to I actually went to a UPS store because we have a mutual friend, and I was seeing if there was anything you can need. Like, it's out of my hands, like that whole thing. I was like, God bless it. So theoretically, I'll get it at some point.
It either got delivered to the wrong place and no one said anything about it, or someone stole it. One or the other.
Yeah, or it's just sitting some random ass place, some facility on a shelf somewhere.
What's aggravating to me? I don't know what's going
What's
on.
the tracking say right now if you look it up? Does it say missing or
I don't know.
route, or?
I don't know. I'd have to look, and I'd have to retype it since you can't fucking hyperlink it.
There's ways around that.
Yeah, we got to download the app and then
No, you just copy and paste, motherfucker.
You just copy and paste.
I can't copy it.
Yeah, you copy like the letter beside it, and it lets you copy it.
Yeah.
There's no letter beside it.
Yeah, there is, dude.
No, there's not.
It's okay. It's Bobby.
Okay,
What-
I do it every time.
I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know. Maybe
Well,
you
I mean,
can't
I don't
get
have. Maybe it's maybe
it's an
iPhones
iPhone
are
thing.
incapable of.
fucking copy and pasting text, but whatever.
No, I mean you can copy it, but it copies the hyperlink.
You should be able to choose copy URL or copy text.
Nope.
That's a
I
fucking
can,
iPhone
I can
thing.
show you how to do it.
No, I don't think you can because it's an iPhone.
No, I actually you can. I think about it now. I have an iPhone
Okay.
for work, and I can copy stuff like that.
All right, here you go.
Here, let me see.
On live on air.
Oh, wait a minute. No, okay. I copy it from the email, but hang on.
That's the email.
Watch. You copy the number beside it, and you just swing over. What the fuck?
It works for me on my phone.
My email looks completely. See,
Maybe he just has a 2002 email account set up.
It's a Gmail.
Do you update when they ask you to update to the new look?
I update all my It's all the operating system stuff. I update all that.
it's just weird the way it's laid out. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you could copy like that much and then just take it out of there.
Oh yeah, it's just. I mean,
It is a pain in the dick.
It's less work than writing it down.
Than writing it down.
Yeah. Anyway, so
1ZW38.
so hopefully I'll get something at some point. We'll have to wait and see,
You can come play with mine whenever you want.
dude.
Isolate that.
So like anyway, I
what she
mean,
said.
but that's that's something I've got to do some thinking about what I want to keep in regard to Hot Toys.
Are you fluiding also?
I don't know, man. I'm just at a weird place with it. Like I'm like 2 years ago it meant more. Well, no, a year ago, 6 months ago, it meant more to me.
Mm-hmm.
And now it means less to me, and I have to decide. There was a point where Marvel had me by the balls, where I was like, "Fuck, this shit is so great. I want all of it." And I mean, I got the Wasp, I got Ant-Man, I got them all pre-ordered. Like, I was in. I want it.
That's really
yeah, I want it. And then now, post Endgame, I'm like, am I happy with just Thor, Iron Man, and Cap? Does that do everything I need it to do?
It's funny that you let one thing ruin everything else for you. Like how we always talk about people's childhoods, like how they like a new thing comes out, like, you ruined my childhood, and you're always like, no, you still have everything you love. Just fucking cut the shit out that you don't want.
Right. But I think the thing here is that a lot of this I loved because of where I saw it going, or where I hoped it was going, or where I wanted it to go.
Where I wanted to go was end up Infinity War, and that's where I leave it myself. Like
And
that's the thing I wanted.
Right. And I think I wanted beyond there.
Yeah.
And
I see it. And you got something else that you won't get the resolution you wanted. Where I did get
Right.
the resolution I want. That's the difference.
Right,
I get it.
right. Let's see. And I think
we hung out this weekend.
Yeah,
I forgot
we
to
had
mention
dinner. We had dinner. That
I
was
wasn't
good.
invited, I don't think.
No,
It was a Saturday. You're not available.
No, dude. Maryland Phil is funny. He just texted me. Dude, I want to have crabs, right? I want to have crabs for the summer.
Yeah, a small event.
Yeah, a small event. Money's a little tight. It's been a little tight this summer.
Yeah, I can't tell with all the hot toys coming in.
Different money. It's a different bag. You know, I mean, really.
Crab bag versus hot toys bag.
Yeah, like the crab bag comes out of like general funds. You know,
Right.
And general funds have been a little tight. So, at any rate, and dude, I mean, what I spend in hot toys this month, I can't get a fucking bushel of crabs for. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
I had no idea
White
that
crabs.
shit was so expensive till I was at Weiss had I guess once a month they have some crab guy.
Oh yeah, the truck out front.
Yeah.
So I usually just go to like a place to eat a bushel of
pull
crabs.
the truck up front and roll up another crab sandwich. I don't know.
So I've been saying I want to do it, you know, and you know, there's some people. There's like one person out of town that I'm going to invite and everything else because they reached out and was like, I'd love to just partake in it, and I was like, well, that's fucking silly to drive all this distance, eat crabs, and then drive the fuck home. But if you want to do
People
it,
like to hang out with you, bro.
no, but I mean, and I think they also want to partake. Well, he's like, I don't do much. Cool, but it's just been tough. So this weekend, for instance, like it's out, but like Phil's hit me up all the time about like when the crabs are. I'm like, man, I don't know. As soon as I know, I will let you know. I promise. And then like he just hit me up and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be out of town this weekend. So if you decide to do crabs, like, no, I'm talking, you'll know. Phil, trust me, you will know. I'll let you know in advance as soon as I know. And I think that's it.
I will say my favorite crab dish anywhere is Laura's crab dip.
The dip over the fondue.
I don't. I guess I've had both.
Yeah, they're both good. I can't choose between the two.
Either one.
Yeah,
that's like my favorite crab related.
That's fucking super solid. Let's see. And I think I'm trying to think of this. Like, I'm gonna start working on an X Mansion diorama. You gave me some pieces for it, and
You got a UPC for those?
I do.
What?
I do.
We're talking about the statues.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's going to be, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a pricey one, so it might slow my roll a little bit because I started looking into all these little miniature pieces you could buy, and I was like,
Just have him put it out for you.
Well, there's
he's got too much going on, man. He's too busy. I can't ask him. I feel guilty. But I was like looking into like,
you can make a lot of that shit.
Well, first I was like, I just want like a little like a sofa love seat. You know, just like a little like sitting area. Mm-hmm. And then there's like, I'm scrolling through. I'm like, well, fuck, a grandfather clock.
Yeah. you know what you should do? There's
like a chess table.
There's a place it's in.
Wow, you're like full on to the doll life right now.
Well, there's a place it's somewhere down close to DC, somewhere in Maryland. I don't remember where. It's literally these people's basement. They have a dollhouse supply store, and they've got. I went one time just to check it out. I don't know. It's older people, but like you can spend as much as you want on dollhouse furniture. Mm-hmm. Like I'm talking about
anything. Like,
$600 dollhouse couch and love seat sets.
Yeah,
you know, like looks and feel like a real couch.
Yeah, it's made by so and so person, and it's handmade. Well, it's just like in the Wire. In the Wire, a dude was making dollhouse furniture.
Oh yeah,
set there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a Gordon. It's a Gordon Gertrell. Anybody, I don't know if anybody will get that joke, but couch.
I also went to the zoo.
Yeah, yesterday.
It was fine. Animals are still...
Was it crowded?
Not really.
Baltimore Zoo?
No, Washington. But it started getting crowded as I was leaving.
Did you guys leave by like lunchtime or?
Well, I can't. No, we left at 1.
Okay.
But
I
can't do it. Not only is it too hot, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I can't fucking imagine. I'm just not cut from the modern day cloth. Showing up to that fucking place at 1 o'clock in the fucking afternoon, where it's 2 bazillion degrees outside,
and it's a big
there's
hill.
2 bazillion people,
and
there.
there's 2 bazillion people there. Yeah. Never going to happen on my watch.
Yeah,
we were out. We planned to be out of the house by 7 a.m. We got a little tied up. We left by 7:30 a.m. and we were there, and we had everything done, including going to the lion pen twice. Once to see the females, and once to see the male. And we heard him roar. to
You tell Robert D that you're scheduling. Well,
yeah,
it's-
see, but
it's
that's
10:30. Line.
like I know it's a fucking joke, but I'm just telling you, it's the fucking way to do business.
Everyone had the mandatory fund.
Like,
Freestyle fun for the next 15 minutes, kids.
I'm just
can do whatever you
saying-
want.
I'm just saying, like we can either go there with a very laissez-faire Sunday afternoon attitude
You
and
get there
get nothing
3:30
done
in the
and be
afternoon?
fucking miserable, or we can go there with a fucking get her done attitude and fucking see everything and knock it out.
No, I'm with you. Like when I go somewhere, I'm like that.
But
It's
I
just-
will-
It's just funny because Robert D breaks such a, and he never gets anything done.
But I have to say this though, in the same breath, it beat the shit out of me.
It's a big, yeah.
It's a big zoo.
It's a big zoo.
And it was fucking sun was
And it's
on.
like a hill part to
yep,
it.
Yeah, there's a hill. It goes all
It's
the
like
way
going
down.
straight down
Yep,
and you
and
have
you
to
got to
come
come all the way
straight back
up. Yep.
up.
And the sun was beaming on me all day. It felt like I had a fat girl on my back.
Don't you have your fisherman hat?
Of
or whatever
course,
that
and
shit's
I was wearing it, but it was still seeping through. I napped in the car on the way home. Got home, we watched Robin Hood, the Disney version. I napped during that, and then I was still in bed by 10 p.m.
That's some old man shit.
I'm telling you.
So they got to my place at like 6, and Bobby's like, I gotta be honest with you, this is like wind down time for us.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
shit, I thought this was an early dinner.
Yeah, he was like, come over for dinner by 6. And I was like, okay, cool. We were getting ready to see Lion King, so I didn't have time to really do critical thinking about it. But then like we were at home at like 4:30, and I was like, fuck. Another hour and a half before we leave? And like, oh my God, what am I? I napped that fucking day. I did. I fell asleep.
I knew you were asleep because you didn't respond. I sent you a message, and I'm like, just don't put peas in it, sweetheart. He's not responding, but I think he's probably safe than sorry.
Yeah, I fell asleep then too. What were we watching then? I couldn't even tell you.
I cannot nap, man. If I nap, I feel
like
awful.
shit
I feel awful.
afterwards.
And I
It
think the
depends.
key is and people are like, yeah, take a 15-minute nap.
15, 20 minutes.
And to me, that's not worth. I don't think.
But I wake up rejuvenated. 15,
Maybe
20
I
minutes.
should try that.
But if I do like an hour,
you're done.
I'm done. Like I wake
For
up
the rest of
feeling
the day,
groggy
yeah.
and
then you go to bed.
Yeah, you feel like almost like you're hungover.
yeah. But 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock from now on. Let's do 5 o'clock.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Then I can leave at
That's like
4:30.
lunch for me.
Yeah, then I can leave at 4:30. I need to, like, and also like, to be fair, I wasn't ready to leave yet.
yeah,
You know,
we were having a good time.
yeah.
Just
And
shooting shit.
had I had another hour, I would have been ready to leave. You know, so like I think 5 o'clock.
Well, next time, if there's no 7 a.m. zoo trips the next day, we'll got to figure out this John Wick situation.
Yeah, which I want to see.
Yeah.
So I guess before we get into this discussion, which we don't even really need to have at this point, but I would like to have a little bit of.
You have questions this week?
I was gonna look and see. We're having
it's
an
early.
early
It's early.
I
show.
didn't see
It's
any
early.
questions. Also,
We
I
have
was
one on Facebook, but go ahead.
Dante or somebody posted one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting.
So I know we do Q&A, but sometimes I feel like we get some comments or responses that are like interesting. I wonder if we should read them sometimes if we're like
From the YouTube.
or Patreon, wherever.
Okay.
Sometimes we have like
Yeah, you're
something
right.
to say
You're
about
right.
the show we just did.
You're right. So this is from David Jordan. He said, and thanks, David, for hitting us up. He said, I was taking a walk with my kid. It was getting dark, and I had a question pop into my head and was hoping if I put this out there, maybe you guys could have an interesting discussion. In many continuities, the plan to defeat Superman is to change our yellow sun to a red one. That being said, is Superman weaker at sunset? I just thought it would be funny if Superman had a 15 to 20 minute weakness every day. Or not every day, just on a day with a pretty sunset. Thought this might generate some funny discussion. Love the show. Keep up the great work. And did you hear about Unicron?
Thank you.
Wait, you know what? What is going on? So,
Unicorns.
unicorns.
From an outsider who's not a I thought he worked like a solar battery. I thought he just sucked shit up, but if he's in the dark for too long, then he gets weaker.
Well, that would be interesting to me. If like, but
And there's got to be there's a superhero that has that power. I know somebody's written that.
and there's always a way around it, right? Because like, if he was in Metropolis, let's say, run the sunset, run the whole thing, and it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and let's say the batteries were a little weak. I mean, theoretically, if like a fire started, he could fly to the other side of the earth, soak up a little bit of sun, and then fly back.
That's true.
So
You just got to make a hot lap. That's all it-
No.
make a hot lap.
No. All he has to do is fly. He can live in space, right?
correct. So
He
could
can just fly straight the fuck up.
Yeah, he could just fly straight up. I think that's
And be
the
exposed to the
loophole
sun.
to it.
Well, I'm just talking about the plot of like every Superman movie is he has to do a hot lap.
Oh, all right.
But it would
I
be.
thought there was a thing where I thought I saw a scene like in a game or something where he was just sitting in front of the sun, being real mad, soaking the shit up.
It would be cool if they could put him in a place though, where, like if it was like a Pluto type planet that like
was really
the
far.
cycle was so far, and he was so far from the sun, and and like he had this like he was weaker than normal, which they've probably done at some point, I would imagine, because he's he gets out there, but. That's an interesting idea. I just love that. I just love that a pretty sunset.
So I have a Superman question, and forgive my ignorance. I'm not well versed in the mythos. Where does kryptonite come from? Krypton?
The pieces of Krypton.
Yes, they're pieces of Krypton.
So no one has superpowers on Krypton. Is that correct? Based on what kryptonite does to
It's because of the red sun.
Okay.
So the fact that he's by the red sun, he's normal. It's our yellow sun that supercharges.
So
him.
any Kryptonian who comes to Earth gets superpowers.
Correct.
Okay.
But also, you don't have to go out to Pluto. Like, people don't realize how far distance things are in the solar system.
I definitely
Science
don't.
lesson. If you go to even Jupiter, the sun just looks like a star. You can't even fucking tell is a sun in the sky. It just looks like another dot.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, that would be cool. But dude, that scene, man. It still gives me the chills. And we had that discussion. Chris and I had that discussion with Laura about what is 90% of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's like 21 films.
Yeah, so it's 20. It was 23 counting the newest Spider-Man.
Right, but what
What's in
90% of it would be?
It's 21 and a half or something.
So like 21 films. Like are 21 films greater than all of the DC films? No.
No.
I mean,
No,
like we said, if you're
so.
counting like the Nolan films
All right, so if we count the Nolan films and the Watchmen,
and the Ryan Reynolds Green
Lantern?
Lantern
movie,
and Batman and Robin.
Is that the one with the nipples?
Yes.
They're making hot toys of.
Yes. Well, no, that's forever. But
Are you in?
No.
Well, the Robin suit still has nipples.
You
Yes,
can shave it
yes,
off,
yes.
I guess.
As soon as Schumacher got involved, nipples started popping up.
You know what that suit needs, kids?
And oddly enough, none on the female suit.
I thought there was some on the Alicia.
I wish there
some.
was.
No, she had a thong,
Yes.
but
Okay.
but no. And I don't know, like
So
there's
ridiculous.
because Joel Schumacher is a homosexual man. I don't know if
did not know that either.
if that plays a part into it at all in any
Well,
way. Shape,
I
or
think
form.
honestly, we're sidetracking here, but if you look at like some of the Roman armor that
That's
they wore,
true.
they had
That's true.
nipples
That's
on
true.
their chest plates, and maybe that's where
You
they
had
They
are.
also have human face masks.
You had a little sauce on that. You had a little Mandarin sauce on
which-
that.
oh, I know.
Like, on the
Some
nipples.
I haven't.
They'll never see my nipples.
Fair. A little quick alibi, so to speak. I picked up. I've come to the conclusion that I can get I can get pictures anywhere for reference materials, but I'm going to try to get a book collection of reference stuff. So I Books in a Million and Barnes and Noble always have that bargain table.
Yeah,
section.
yeah.
So like, I really want to find, if anybody out there ever sees one, like a New York. It's a photo book of New York architecture, different brick patterns and whatnot. Because I take a ton of pictures, but then I have to pull my phone out and find the picture. But I bought one on the Roman Empire, so it's just a ton of pictures of the ruins and things. There's a lot of story to that too, but that made me think of that, the nipples.
I also got one thing. I got to add an alibi as well. I got a gift from Cody.
Oh, nice.
Where
More art?
where he photoshopped my baby's face and put my face on it. It's very
Oh, my God. That's awful.
I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know, right? Super.
It's the side eyes that's getting me. It's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm gonna blow this
Oh
down.
God, this shit's funny. So yeah, I would imagine that there's a story in there somewhere. No new Star Wars news to report. Although both the Star Wars discussion videos are either at or have edged towards 2000 for the discussion ones.
Yeah.
So that's good.
You want to talk about the whole the HasLab thing for our time here today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because and our data that we can share.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I did if if there was, let me just I would like to have this on a more lengthy discussion. But before I have to ask Joe, are there any figures you'd be interested in collecting anymore at all? Period.
Are you talking about articulated action figures?
Yeah. My man just went.
How was my thoughts leaking out? I don't. I know
that's what he does at the wine tastings.
Final Fantasy Play Art Sky stuff.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 7 and 15 to be specific. I have one coming, and
super specific.
Robot stuff. Anything that's not humanoid figure. I just don't fucking like humanoid.
Are you interested at all in the vehicle Voltron Bandai set?
No.
Okay.
Director.
Okay, so my question is, because we wanted to have a lengthy discussion on this, but we don't have time. If there was one figure in your collection that's just like a glaring, gaping Pornhub hole that needs filling, what would it be?
That needs filling.
Mm-hmm.
Like a replacement?
Fuck, why has nobody made this? Aside from two tubes, obviously.
Well, I mean, that's not something. Are you talking about something we want that a character that hasn't been made, or a character that desperately needs replacing?
Hasn't been made.
So I had one, but they just announced a bunch of stuff. So it's in the Final Fantasy 7 Play Art Skyline, but like they just announced a bunch of shit. So now I'm good.
Did they announce any? Don't white face me, man. Stop. Did they announce any DC Marvel stuff this go round?
Play Art Sky?
At Play Art Sky?
Yeah.
I didn't even see their reveals.
That Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Was this at
Tifa
Wonderfest? Wonderfest? Is that what it's called?
Was at CCC.
Well, Wonderfest was literally this past week.
Wonderfest! They have a new figure that I do want. There's a new Gurren Lagann stylized robot that's coming out.
But I mean, I don't feel like I saw anything from Play Arts.
For Marvel and DC stuff.
Yeah.
When's the last time they put one out?
They put out Marvel stuff this past year.
And that Joker was probably that's the last thing I remember, right? That crazy expensive Joker.
And I think they've done Batman.
Have they?
I think so.
I mean,
here's Batman as a magician.
See, I don't know. I don't pay attention to Play Arts specifically, but like I pull action figure news almost twice a month at least.
I mean, they're just focusing on them more in their own property now because Sony has so much shit.
Well, and they've been doing a 112 line as well.
Yeah. The Bring Arts.
Yeah, those figures look amazing.
Yeah, they're like miniaturized Play Art Sky.
I wish they would do DC stuff.
Bobby, I'm thinking, and nothing's really just coming to mind that I'm, fiending for. I mean,
how about fuck?
Yes, the action figure line.
Fuck the action figure line.
Fully articulated
porn stars.
No, the fucking twin cars, the fucking white and black.
Runabout,
those guys.
Run amok and runabout.
Yeah, those guys.
For me, it's Bib Fortuna.
Yeah. Well, did you see? Apparently, they had a custom of him at SDCC, that's what they were saying. I'm thinking it'll get revealed.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think JD mentioned it. So on Breaking the Mold this past week,
with the diorama.
I think he said
that was a 3 3/4 diorama.
JD was. They were talking about SDCC, and he was basically he was bitching that they didn't show anything, but they showed that, and somebody said, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'd have to look at it. I thought that was a 3 3/4 diorama. I'm positive it's a 3 3/4 diorama, but a Bib Fortuna, I feel like is a glaring hole.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of crazy that we have some of the more obscure than we have a Bib Fortuna.
I wonder why. That's strange.
Yeah.
Now that you brought it up.
Yeah. And Bodhi Rook.
And Bodhi's one, but that's. I'm not like salty about it. I've seen some pretty cool customs of him lately.
Yeah, me too.
People make like the whole chest plate.
That group is fucking awesome.
That is a cool group.
Saul Guerrera is not like a lot of that. I mean, tutus obviously.
And bro,
and whole 112th Batman line.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you're going to see some stuff. We've talked about the fact that from Star Wars, we're getting a lull in the movies. 3 or 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And in that time,
yeah.
I remember when they announced that, you're like, thank God they can make some of these characters. But then, you're going to get 12 Mandalorian suits.
Yep.
You're going to get, whatever else. So it'd be interesting to see how they play all that out.
Agreed. Okay, what's up with the HasLab? What were we going to...
So
the charts.
Yeah. Mr. Brian Brink has been monitoring the path that this Unicron. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not.
Oh yeah, that's a Unicron.
There's a Unicron that HasLab's putting out. It's I think it's $7,000.
Yep, and it's about 3.5 foot tall.
It's 3.5 feet tall. It still fits in a DTOF though.
Yeah.
With the wings straight up.
It's very narrow, so you can turn it sideways. Basically, what he's done is he's made a graph that shows if you break down 8,000 by however many days, and it shows what the path to the projection should be, and it shows the actual sales data. And I guess he's just every day looking to see how much is there, and it's right where it needs to be. But he did the same. And then Bobby, you want to?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the chart now, and the way that the barge went, it had a big kind of influx in the first 10 days, and then it got 2,000 backers.
That's a lot.
And then in the next 20 days, it kind of tapered off. Like it was still heading up, but it was very, very slow, where it went from 2,000 to about 2,800 in the next 20 days. And then in the last 10 days, it went from 2,800 to 5,000.
Yeah, there's some days there where it's just insane.
Yeah.
Like the last week. It seemed like it got to where it was averaging about 30, 40, 50 a day. And then all of a sudden it spikes like there's a couple 200 a days. Yeah.
And now the Unicron it's at 100 below the barge, where the barge was right now, about.
But you need more though, right? The barge had a lower threshold.
Yes, but they have the target for the Unicron, like for it to constantly make it, like it's like what it needs to do almost every day, and it's right. It's maybe 1 day behind. So it's headed in the right trajectory. It's gonna be close.
I mean, look, I don't think these big companies are fucking dumb, especially it's a huge corporation. I don't think they would have done this if they didn't think they were gonna hit it.
Well, look, Cookie Monster ain't happening. I mean, that thing's got I
never even heard of it till like you guys.
It's tragically low. I mean, I'd say it's maybe at 10%, maybe.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
It's not looking great. And did we talk about the whole BBTS option on here for that?
We did briefly, but I can reiterate that like it's a like people have been hitting me up about that too. That like, oh, they're scalping it. It's like, dude, no, they're not. They're doing you a fucking favor.
Yeah, you're paying. You're backloading the interest. Is all you're doing.
You're paying,
and it's less than buying a second market.
It is
correct.
It is, and honestly, like, I think I'm going to buy. I just hate to tie that much money up for that.
Me too.
It's $600 tie for 2 years, and you get no. I mean,
do you even have a Transformers collection anymore?
He'll flip it.
Flip game dog.
He'll flip it.
But here's the deal. Do I want to tie up $600 to make $200?
You're going to make more than $200.
Or whatever it ends up being. So, I don't know. And part of me...
Barge was going for $3,000 at Celebration.
Really? Because it's settled down like it's $1,200 now.
But you got to get
really?
You got to get the fan price, bro.
Yeah.
Well, so I remember this came up at one point in time when, I guess back in a third party when we were pre-ordering everything because we were afraid we weren't going to get
those days. Still was terrible days.
Well,
I wasted so much money.
Well, there was
thousands of dollars.
There was places where you're paying up front. I remember I paid, I won't say the retailer because it doesn't really matter, but for some of the Fan Toys Dinobots, like 2 years in advance. So you have my $200 for 2 years. Someone brought up the fact that why am I not? Somebody's making interest on that money. Why is it not me?
Yeah.
About that. So you look at it like that, and you put $600 into a high yield CD. How much money will you make over a 2 year? And actually, I think I looked that up. It wouldn't be a ton of money.
It'd be interesting to like pay the deposit for BBTS, roll the rest of it into a CD.
Well, the thing to do, because here's what's going to happen. HasLab, and you might have just solved my problem here. HasLab is going to, they will deliver theirs before BBTS even gets theirs.
Right.
So you will know then what the market is. and go ahead and have that bitch sold. When it hits your pile of loot and charges you, change your address, send it to Joe Bob that bought it for $6 trillion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not business-minded like that.
No, me neither.
I'm too business-minded like that because...
Plus, I think I want it. You know, I do.
I don't know.
Like, I think I want it.
Like, that was so much. I could have bought, like, if I wanted to make money, I could have bought 6 suitcases worth of stuff from Japan and, like, fucking doubled my money, but that's just not what I'm about.
Yeah, no. It's not what I'm about either, but it is nice to have that. Like, if I get it and I'm like, I fucking hate this, I can get rid of it. You know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't the case with all the third-party stuff we bought.
No.
Because they all end up in IKEA bags.
But this isn't that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. This is guaranteed
Correct.
to at least make his own money back.
Correct.
But I tell you, man, there's a push now online. Whereas, let's just say that the Star Wars community is a little bit more, I wouldn't say it's splintered as the Transformers community is. And there's been some basically grassroots campaigns to, hey, you've got to get the word. And you talked about it in your video Saturday about basically that. You're going to have to post about this. You're going to have to
keep it in the consciousness.
Yeah, what was it? Back the Barge was the thing they did. So there's something similar. And just the comments in that are so salty. And I've got this thing I dropped. In the Mezco community, this is a huge, oh, man, fuck that. I know he's going to buy that. And then, you know, when it comes out, everybody wants, you know, the
fan price.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this.
Well, what is...
I post this thing all the time. It's... watch out, folks. It's the Easy Pass. Brigade of Fools. You bet your ass I'll want a high-value collector's item for retail price in 6 months.
Yeah.
So I post it, like, anytime somebody's bitching about, oh, that sucks, somebody's going to want it, I just post that. Because somebody's going to
want it.
Maybe not you in particular, but somebody's going to pay a ridiculous amount for that.
I mean, when you upgrade your general market product from $14 to $20 and the entire world cries until the fucking cows come home, you should have expected that when you drop a $575 product that they're going to do the same.
Like, the market is not the same.
Yeah, the market is the bread and butter Transformer fan. This is like asking them to cut their dick off.
I saw something the other day, and you guys will get a kick out of it. It was in the same thread. This guy said, "That's half my mortgage," and I wanted to put lucky. Half. You don't live in Maryland, do you?
Quarter.
Yeah. But it's just like, I mean, if it fails, it's because, like, that's one of my fears is, like, dealing with the community, like, backlash of, well, if it wasn't for Zeta, this would have passed.
Well, and that's the thing, like,
It's
the barge,
not.
you didn't have a, you know, nobody was making another barge.
No,
I wasn't making a Cookie Monster either.
But nobody's making a Cookie Monster either
Yet.
But the
Toy World, get on it.
if this doesn't succeed, it's either one of two reasons: the product doesn't look good enough, or you have outpriced your market.
Yeah, you're aiming at the wrong demographics.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what this comes to.
Well, you know, and I think what we'll see towards the end, you know, BBTS, we're pretty sure at this point is probably bought. And I think Brian even said in the data, there's a weird spike in there that they bought probably back 300 of them or whatever. I think some of the other online retailers, once it gets closer, are going to, you know, buy 100 of them or buy some quantity.
Because they're going to make money.
Because they're going to make,
it's
I'm
people
sure
that
have
price is cheaper. I don't know.
No, it wouldn't be cheap. I doubt there's any sort of wholesale for this. I mean, there's still going to be, but you know, like he said,
even if you make
you're going to double your money.
A couple $100 a unit.
Keep in mind, most places are doing a 20% margin. That's about what you're making on action figures. So if you're making a 40-50% margin, it's probably worth to tie the money up in you know.
And all the, like, it's come out that, like, all the Takara Mall stuff is all being rolled into the general numbers. You know. So, like,
say that again now.
So, like, they're offering it through Takara Tomy Mall.
Yes, but it's the same.
But it's the same
bucket,
numbers.
Same
Yeah.
bucket. Okay.
So are the numbers accurate that they're showing, or no?
I would assume so.
Or is that like a back?
No, I don't think so.
They're not adding on.
I don't think so. I think it's all on point. And I'm gonna look it up real quick just to see how it's doing today. But I don't know. I think, you know, honestly it's on the fans at this point.
Yeah. It is
on the fans who are on the fence.
And here's something else you got to keep
33 days, 9 hours, and 4 minutes left, and it has 2,056 backers of 8,000.
So it's, I don't know, Joe, is that 80%, 83%? I don't think so. That's it's more than 20%.
Yeah, it's more than 20%.
Yeah, I did the quick maths there.
Nice.
Quick maths. Something else to think about is who's going to be a Transformers fan in 2021 that isn't today. that's going to want that. Right?
Yeah.
So that's part of the. It's not just the late tax.
Right.
Right. It's new people to the game. So and I think we're short-sighted in that a lot with just collecting in general. That that drives up value. Like for example, some of the Fans Toys pieces. Like the Perceptor's going for a stupid amount of money because that's the only Masterpiece Perceptor. It's how many years? That's 4 years old, 3 years old. It's an older piece.
Still gets like $200-$300.
Yeah, and it was like $80 or something stupid like that. So, and I think a lot of that is driven by new collectors. I know, like I see that in the Mezco, and Hot Toys too. And I'm guilty of it. I mean, you are. I'm looking at your Nolan verse here and re-release that shit, please. Not for Bobby's sake, for my sake.
I need a few.
That's paying the late tax. You just gotta bite the bullet and do it.
And I don't think it looks terrible. That's another thing.
No, the proportions are great.
The proportions
the
are
silhouette
great.
is great. Yeah.
Like
I agree. The legs are an issue, but it's gonna be something.
The legs are unsightly, but I
the
like
proportions.
I
is
like
good.
the mass of it.
What about that North Face backpack?
Actually, that doesn't bother me as much. Like
it was funny.
I have something to say about that. About people complain about backpacks and robots. Yes, some is ugly, like the red car.
Yeah, Toro from X Transbots.
Yeah, but like for me, like I was raised on robots supposed to have backpacks.
Sure.
All anime robots have some kind of back attachment that's supposed to be there. So like when I see things with backpack, it's just normal to me.
That's where they keep their weed, man. Their backpack.
Well, that's
like
the thing is
the
like
thrusters or whatever.
A well
stuff.
done. So I think that's what it is, though, right? Is that a well done backpack looks better than no backpack at all,
right?
But a poorly done backpack
just shit hanging
not.
off the back. No,
yeah, it looks like a bunch of shit hanging off your back. Yeah.
But his is just a square.
Yeah, I'm not mad
clean
at his.
thing.
I'm not mad
fine
at
with that.
And I'm like the stuff on his legs doesn't look good, but
it's not bad.
I like the mass it adds.
Yeah, and I don't think it's bad. I know people talk shit about it, but I don't think it's
the thing that cracks me up about it is, and it's the Transformers community. There's so many
variables.
There's so many variables, but as far as there's people who are Hasbro. That's all they do. They don't, and then the third party people. That to me, it's almost like the third party people are jaded against buying something, giving Hasbro that much money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's Robert.
Okay, a perfect example. And it won't fit in a DTOF. So, and I think that might have some impact, but at the same time, Hasbro doesn't probably even other than the Facebook data that they mine. They don't know those people. They don't know Robert exists as far as a customer because he's not.
Right. I think that like
you hear that, Robert. You don't exist.
I think that like Robert said on Dummies, he was like, I would give Fans Toys $900 to make it, but I got a problem giving Hasbro $500 to make it.
Yeah,
you know. But like the thing is I'm of the belief, and this thing may prove me wrong, and I'm willing to accept that, but I'm of the belief that Hasbro can make a great product if you pay for it.
Yeah, they make other stuff that's great.
Yeah,
it's just Transformers.
The fucking barge is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, no stone was left unturned in that thing. Like, every little nook and cranny inside that I can't even see with the way I have it displayed.
Well, I was going to say, I almost wish you didn't have it up there just so, because at some point in time, maybe we can take it down one day. I'd like to look inside of it and look at all the detail. Because, I remember seeing the press kit for it or the promo stuff, or even that book they sent you, hey, we're going to send you a book. That's what it is. They're not sending a book.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know.
But
if they'd send me a book in 1 year, I'd look at it and then I'd be excited again.
The book is a nice thing to get, though. I like shit like that.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I think that does it. Anybody got anything they want to add?
A cheap plug. I have a pre-order up right now for my Popeye doc. If you want, I'm doing a limited run. Whatever's pre-ordered, that's all I'm going to make at that price.
What is the benchmark? What do you need to reach?
No, there's no benchmark. I've actually the benchmark I had set for myself, I've actually surpassed already. So
I just want to say this as a side note to your doc. It's perfect, by the way. It's great.
I've heard that.
Maybe, just maybe,
when
you put the pictures out, and I was like, the doc is the best one.
Yeah,
and then Mezco agreed, and then the people have kind of agreed.
Sure.
Maybe in the future, if I say, "Hey, you might want to think about this," maybe give my opinion a little bit of weight. You know what I mean?
I'll do that. I'll give you an extra pound.
Do you put water under there?
You could. It's PVC, so you can't hurt it.
I mean, when you display it, you can have a blue piece.
That's
of paper.
what I'm actually just. No, I'm just going to put water in my DTOF.
Do you get your silicone out?
Blue piece of.
That's something I've struggled. I'll readily admit that I had the water bit. I have not gotten my head around doing it successfully, and I've seen people that do it so well.
Well, if you have borders to put it in, you can do it incredibly well. If you don't have borders to put it in, you have to do it kind of, as far as I have found, you have to kind of do it the way I'm doing it, but you could get better at doing it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've messed around with some stuff, and I can't ever get anything to work. And I see people using it, and I always ask questions like, what would you use? And they told me, and I don't know. I just need to take some time and practice it. But nonetheless, I have that pre-order up to the end of the week. If you're interested, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what rock you live under. I'm just kidding.
And where can they find it if they haven't seen it?
They just hit me up on social media. Crashbox
on
Customs.
Facebook.
Crashbox Customs on Facebook, where your data is being mined, and Instagram, where it's also being mined.
It's not mine. I'm just giving it to them.
Yeah, like here's everything. That's what we should all do. I'm posting everything. Here's everything.
You give me everything.
Well, my social security number is a quick thing about that. Have you guys seen this? There's an Equifax thing. Is that a scam or is that legit?
I don't know. I'm uncomfortable putting my 6 digits.
So I did the 6 digits. That's it though, and just it says, here. Yeah, sure. So I'm wondering if you could literally just type in 6 numbers, because I'm wondering. I haven't seen anything official that says this is the up and up, or this is a data mining scam.
Yeah, CNN carried it.
Don't do anything with it.
I mean, it's like $125.
CNN carried it. Like the story.
Okay. Well, let me put a check by them.
I don't know, but last I heard CNN was fake news.
Yeah, well, that's as close as I can get to anything legitimate.
And Baltimore's rat infested, by the way.
It definitely is.
It is.
100%.
But it's because they told Chris because they banned the Stop Snitching video.
Well, we know how you're going to vote.
As soon as they banned the Stop Snitching video, the rats just came out of fucking every corner.
That's right.
Shout out to the rest of the Cool Table Network, Shoutcast Uncut, Enter the Realm, Beer and Bolters, 3040, 2401K, Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Toy Detox, building up to it, Breaking the Mold, Fresh Communications, which is now bi-weekly and verbally challenged. Shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team. Both Phillips, actually just Maryland. And
yeah, we haven't shouted out the other Philip in like 2 weeks now.
Because I'm like Ron Burgundy. So like when I look up there and I see it, I'm like,
is it time to take the mug down? Or
yeah, it's time to take
or just flip it the other way.
Adam wouldn't let me.
Flip it the other way.
Turn it to Shane. And of course Dante the Destroyer. And Raul on Instagram, Mr. Manny behind the scenes, and Mr. Gort co-hosting Force Sensitive, which we did get a new episode in that
episode 4?
It came up. Yeah, episode 4. It came up yesterday, and I think we're recording 5 on Friday. What's up? Adam. Oh, and of course Adam. I'm sorry. Who? Yeah, he told you guys he was quitting. So there it is. And that's it.
Tasty tank.
Flappy Labus.
Tight dick player.